The following podcast contains opinion and commentary protected under the First Amendment and fair use, as well as public records and freedom of information laws. The content may include adult themes, adult concepts, and adult language not suitable for all audiences. For the safety of all, no viewer should ever engage with, interact with, seek out, or contact in any way persons being discussed, including those under criminal prosecution, and especially those that state,
"It's not like I've gone and killed somebody!"
Viewer discretion is advised.
It's Friday night, we're breaking the rules. No suits allowed, no time for fools. The boss is gone, the clocks can die. We're off the rails, yeah, we're going live. Friday night fuckery, light up the sound. Crank that chaos, spin it around. Laughs get loud and the truth don't hide. Friday night fuckery, we're going live. The drinks are cold, the mics are hot. You never know what kind of show you've got. We talk some trash, we cross some lines, but that's the point, it's our time to shine. Friday night fuckery, light up the sound. Crank that chaos, spin it around. Laughs get loud and the truth don't hide. Friday night fuckery, we're going live. No scripts, no filters, no plan. Just pure, uncut Friday night mayhem. Friday night fuckery. Come on and roll with me. Friday night fuckery. Friday night fuckery. Friday night fuckery. Light up the sound. The world's gone crazy, so let's burn it down. Laughs get loud and the truth won't hide. Friday night fuckery. We're going live. It's chaos. It's comedy. It's everything you shouldn't do. It's Friday night fuckery. It's Friday fuckery. It's Friday night fuckery. It's chaos. It's comedy. It's everything you shouldn't do. It's Friday night fuckery.
Welcome, everyone, back to my channel. Welcome back to your favorite little cubbyhole on the internet. It is indeed Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. And because, we're not alone here, there's this other guy hanging around here, too.
Yeah, well, what's
He's
a guy
like
to
the
do on a
neighborhood
Friday night?
Tomcat. I needed
Yes.
a cat reference. I just needed a
You
cat
did.
reference.
You did. Is that based on your neighbor that I need to?
No,
still...
actually, well, I mean, it could be, I suppose, but Henrietta von Vanderfloof said hello, and I just had cat images, because whenever I hear Vanderfloof, I think felines. I don't know why. Maybe it's a me problem, but Vanderfloof sounds very cat-like to me.
Yeah, you have lots of you problems. I'm going to just put that out
true.
there. But
it's true, and because it is Friday, I'm leaving most of those problems at work where they belong. At least
good,
for the next
as well you should.
48 some odd hours.
I got to leave mine, and I got to leave mine on the table at 5:00 yesterday. I was off today. It was my recovery day for having
delightful.
The fuckery of being on call. So yes.
Excellent. I don't want to get into work stuff, because then that will dig a hole for the both of us, which neither of us need nor want at this point in the evening.
Also, if there's any employment lawyers out there, might.
He's looking for consultations, among other things. Never mind. Although the boss did say the alcohol consumption did go up this week. I would imagine it's not dissimilar for you as well.
Your boss or My boss.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
Oh.
about yours.
Well, yeah. I don't think mine drinks.
Oh,
But
well, whatever. Maybe I should meet them.
I may have celebrated a little hard last night with
Oh
having
dear.
very in-depth conversations and like a second round nightcap, with another friend that was, in the vicinity of where I was. So it's kind of like, yeah, I made it home. Made it home.
Well, that's good. That's good. Don't pull a David Gingras. That's all I'm going to say. We'll
I
talk
don't know.
about him a little
Ooh,
later, but he is on the docket for
I don't
this
know.
evening. For this evening's court of not so random opinion, because well, maybe are my opinions random? No, they're usually a
Some of
little
mine are
less random.
some of mine are pretty fucking random. I'm just gonna put that out there, but
It's that free
um,
association of thought, I suppose.
I suppose. But yeah, no. DG gives me plenty. He gives me a hangover, just
Oh
in
my.
general.
Oh my.
But that's your fault
Yes.
because you subject me to this bullshit.
I
I
know this
swore
is
within the first 20 minutes, so whoops. But
as the saying goes, many hands make light work. Many brains suffer more emotional trauma together. I don't know. I've got to work on that one. I'll
what we
workshop
don't
that some.
we don't have enough shared trauma to begin with.
Well,
Like,
sure, but
and
I
you have
mean,
to add more.
just think of the rest of chat.
Well,
Love
yes.
you, chat. Hi, chat. How you doing? Happy Friday to all of you in chat, including most of you who may not get to catch us on the usual live. Nice to see you all here this evening. Thanks for joining us. And as they say in YouTube land, be sure to hit all the things. They're down that way. The thumbs up button's great. The
Hmm.
subscribe and the notification bell. I don't have that sound. I need a ding. I need a ding on here. That doesn't
Ding.
sound like a cash register. And also hit the hype button. If you've got hypes, we would be so honored if you would use your hypes for us because we're still a fledgling little channel hiding in a nook under the stairs.
Just the
It's
little cubby
just my
hole
little
under the
yes,
stairs of somewhere.
tucked away in the cubbyhole of YouTube. See, that's how it all came about. It really did. I had no
Mhm.
delusions of grandeur for an enormous channel. I still don't. I don't care if it does or doesn't.
You've
This
crossed
is
the 1K Rubicon. That's something.
It is something. I mean, I don't get a little plaque yet. That'll be a little more of a something. But
Yeah.
you know, you got to start somewhere, and we've
I'll
started
make
here.
I'll make you a plaque. How about that? Does that make you feel
Ooh,
better?
sure. I like participation trophies. You know,
So I feel like that's all I'm here for. It's just a participation trophy. It's like,
we're the
whatever.
we're the generation that did not get to take advantage of participation trophies. It was like, well,
That's
tough shit.
true.
Life's not fair. That was the first lesson
That's
I ever learned.
yes. Yep. That was
Yeah.
one of the several I learned.
Oh, let's see. Hype not showing up for me, but Nora's ability to do super chats. Yes, because I'm not. Well, maybe I need to monetize to do hypes. I don't know. I have no idea how it works. I just see it on other people's channels. I don't even know if they're monetized or not. It may be part of that whole package. I may just turn
Hmm.
monetization on and give certain people who like to target YouTubers for getting breadsticks. I'll just widen my target that much more. How dare they capitalize on Laura's trauma and harassment? No, well, she did it to herself.
I mean, apparently
That's my
you
response.
apparently you enjoy poking various bears on other websites too, including
Yeah, well, I was
the
told it wasn't
twatters.
what I thought it was, and that just
Oh
it just
yes.
But as I shared with Jeep Daddy, I was poking at a certain Twitter account who I'm suspicious of. And I was told by another Twitter person of some acclaim that no, it's not who I thought it was. I'm still suspicious because the person who told me it's not who I thought it was could not and would not share any evidence to that effect. So it's like I can still be suspicious. So I shall be.
Be suspicious, but also you got to respect the privacy aspect of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're sharing it with one person, but well, I don't believe in trust me, bro. I just don't. Even if I know who that person was that responded to me
I
privately.
understand trust but verify. I mean, that's a mantra that
Something
my
David
my
Gingras did
my
not do.
people my people do that. The cybersecurity folk, we tend to trust but verify. So but
Mm.
yeah. Remain skeptical. That's all I'm saying.
Real Karsten says, okay, it's me on Twitter. Wait, I think I just pulled an Owens and lied. Touche. Hopefully the buttons work tonight.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, good. We'll need them. We've got a lot to cover. I thought it was going to be a quick one because, well, not a whole lot's happened with the criminal case or the bankruptcy, but I have found some things, or not really found, but was reminded of some things, especially with the bankruptcy. So we'll get to that towards the latter part of tonight's program, but we'll start with the latest updates in the Laura Owens criminal case. That's right. She who must not be named and was not named for like a year. And her 14 felonies. Oh, Henry Anders wondering what I'm talking about. Or maybe she's wondering what someone else is talking about. See, I really should not pay attention to chat.
I can maybe do
All
that
right,
a little bit if
shall
I'm
I
not
divulge?
distracted.
So I was poking
You
at
do
a
you.
certain I was poking at a certain Truth Bomb's Twitter account just because I was getting annoyed. It's like, okay, the Truth Bomb's Twitter account is just constantly going after the JFC Instagram account, and I decided to do a little, what shall we say? Social experiment is what I'll say. And, just start firing some things off and see how they respond. It got rather crass, but it was funny at the same time. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
And I always like that slam at the end of, how dare you such things? I'm a woman. How do I know that? Prove it. Whatevs. And then another community-oriented Twitter account said, no, it's not David. They verified their identity to me, but I can't share it with you, so you'll just have to trust me, privacy and things. And I went, well, okay, but I'm still going to be suspicious. Just because the only people that I've seen just firing off at the JFC official Instagram account, by and large, has been Laura and David. If there's it's not impossible that some other person just doesn't like them and wants to, lob grenades in their direction. But it's like, what's the motive here? Because
reading
I have yet
through
to see,
some of those. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I've yet to see a real truth bomb come from this alleged truth bomb's account. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to reveal some things, but not until after Laura's in prison. It's like, well, then what the hell? What's the point? You're just saber rattling. Oh, I've got all these things, but I can't share it. I can't spill the tea yet. I can't do it. It's like, this is just coitus interruptus, just like David Gingras. Oh,
I don't know. I read through some of
this
those.
This is unfiltered if I'm using phraseology like that.
My
It's
goodness.
Friday night fuckery.
I may have to find some pearls to clutch here in a minute. But I read through some of the historical tweets that account was putting out, and it's sort of this weird balance between like actually talking like positively, like the way like positive and in the supportive of the JFC, movement, if you will,
In vague terms.
in vague terms. But then like also just like there's phraseology that's very questionable and just like, this doesn't make a lot of sense right now. But it's still like roasting the shit out of like LO and DG. And it's just like, okay, what? I don't, but
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just like I am quite sure the Justice for Laura webpage is not by just a nice person from JFC that believes Laura. Spare me.
Yeah.
Please. Ralph. Just like the Marigold Clark who is poking at me in my comment section is probably the same person who's the Arizona gardener because we've got lots of flower references and whatever. Some say, okay, just ignore the drama. Don't involve it. It's like, well, okay, fine. But it gives me things to talk about.
True.
And I get bored. Sometimes I get bored with Twitter. Because otherwise it's like, oh, okay, here's the next thing to talk about on the show. Oh, here's the next thing to, and I just start retweeting stuff. It's like, but then we've got these weird people doing weird things over here. Why not call some attention to it? So more eyes are on it and maybe they can figure out what's going on there. Because it doesn't pass the sniff test. Not to me.
No smell test. When
my bullshit meter starts going off, because anyone can be self-deprecating. It's It's like, oh, Echoes, you just had that DUI. Oh, he's just such a terrible person, and you're so awful for being awful to the bar. And Judge Mott is, it's like anybody can do that, especially if you're a little bit crazy, which I think the major players in the Owens saga are crazy. Just my opinion.
I can't disagree with that.
No. Real Karsten says, don't ignore the drama, be the drama. I think that is just J-Hip's mantra. He might have that on his little cork board on the wall. J-Hip seems to love to be drama. I'm not very good at it. Sometimes I step my foot in it just because, well, I'm silly that way. But
and then I make fun of you for doing so. But
I know. What can we do? What can we do?
You,
But we'll
do
see.
the same for me, and that's fine. That's how we roll. It's
And then more truth bombs. The truth bombs account came into be on Twitter in the same time frame as the Justice for Laura page and new Laura Owens blogs on Medium. It's just a little too coincidental. And I've learned with this case, the coincidences are not coincidences. They just aren't. So there you are. There you are. That's the latest, personal gossip. Being a participant and observer in the commentary of the Laura Owens and David Gingras saga. So that's that. And they can, I'm really not here to just make friends with everybody. I think generally I can, but when I'm suspicious of people, it's not likely until I get to the bottom of why I'm suspicious. And I'm suspicious of that account. And it's not that I don't find it entertaining. It's just, well, where's the truth bombs? We're trying to pretend like we've got some sort of inside info, but there's not.
Mm-hmm.
The JFC Twitter does a lot better at inside info, and one could argue it's not always accurate. That would be a fair criticism, especially with something that happened recently. What was it? Oh yeah, it was about Laura Owens' hearing, which was a very short hearing, and we'll play that in just a moment. And the JFC Twitter said, oh, it was a hearing just for her plea deal. Well, no, it wasn't. It was a status conference, essentially, for the complex case management for the criminal case. And it was an update. Okay, where are we? What's blah, blah, blah. And, and someone had to have their travel plans, which have evolved. We started with Laura claiming, oh, I've got to travel out of town because a family member is just terribly ill and they need my help and assistance. And now it's, we're going to San Diego to see my sister with my parents. It's like, well, that's evolved. We've gone from, I have to go out for a crisis in California. Can I please go, Judge, to, we're just going to see my sister. It's like, well, that's what it was to begin with.
Yeah.
How things evolve. It's just funny. Bruce the Moose. Hi, Bruce. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Bruce says, well, if it's entertaining, that rules Laura out. Well, I mean, it could be. IB says, oh, giggles. True, Bruce. I don't know. I find Laura rather entertaining. At least when she's trying to backpedal or get out of things. And that's why we're here. She tried to backpedal. Okay. Shall we get to the material this evening?
Let's do it.
Ms. Wings, that's a it's an interesting point. Miss Wings says maybe Mr. New Lawyer is honest. I don't think any of her previous criminal defense attorneys are dishonest. At least I've had no reason to believe so far. I have a feeling Mr. Loiters, or is it Looters? I don't know how to say it. Whatever it is. Christian Loiters. Some people are calling him Zaddy Laura. I don't know. I made that up. There are some ladies that find him, his picture on his website's like 15 years old. He's a little grayer and slightly thinner on top now. I guess he's an okay guy. He certainly wears a suit well, and he spends more time at the gym than I ever will. So there's that. But here we go. Let's see. Let's see. I need to get rid of this, remove that, add this. Oh, look. And this comes to us from Law and Crime. As per usual, folks, the vast majority of details for tonight's show and all the sources are in the show notes. So if you like to follow along, you are certainly welcome to. With all the things that can be downloaded, they are included in the show notes. And again, make sure you hit those buttons over there. The you like me buttons. We are always looking for validation and approval.
Validate Echoes with thumbs ups and subscribes and comments.
or validate the algorithm in the computers. I mean, really, that's who we're trying to. The ego stroking is for the ones and zeros.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't design this world. That's just the way it is. All right. So this is from Law and Crime. This is the hearing with Laura Owens and defense counsel and such and such. It's very brief. And then we have some paperwork to look at. So let's see.
Dear.
Hopefully all the audio's working. Here we go.
All right, this is CR 2025-007905, State versus Laura Owens, time set for a complex case management conference. Can I get appearances, please? Mr. Kono, can I get the state's appearance, please?
What I love about this judge is like after he says everything, and maybe this is the way he is, it's like a sigh after everything. Can I get appearances, please? And he does it all the time. And I don't know if it's just, I doubt it's just with this case, but I find it funny.
Which number, Your Honor?
Number 10.
Kevin O'Connell for Ed Leiter on behalf of the state.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christian Luters on behalf of Laura Owens, who's present with me at the podium out of custody.
All right, good morning. Ms. Owens, can I get your name and date of birth, please?
Laura Owens, 5/14/1990.
She does that so well. It's like Vanna turning the letters on, Wheel of Fortune.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she doesn't have to turn them anymore. She just has to touch them now.
I know. Well, that's technology.
Yeah.
Laura lost a career opportunity, I think. I think she could have done well at, pulling bingo balls for the lottery or some other such thing.
With a plastic smile just like permanently affixed to her face like the Joker, but yeah.
Well, she says she's done Botox and, skin sculpting and that kind of thing. Why not?
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I think that was an excuse to hide the fact we were buying HCG we were injecting, according to the Maricopa County's investigators report, but never mind.
No, never mind those silly details, Echoes. Let's just keep on going with this nonsense.
All right, thank you. All right, I did get the complex case management report. Thank you for that. Mr. Lawler, is there anything you wanted to talk about today that isn't encompassed in that pleading?
We did not talk about the motion to permit out-of-state travel that we filed last week in the CCMC report.
Yeah, I did receive that. State have a position?
Your Honor, the state takes no position on that particular request, and victims' rights have been complied with.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and grant the motion. Ms. Owens be permitted to travel to San Diego, California between April 10th and April 17th, and then from May 28th to June 2nd. All other release conditions remain in effect.
Now, it's important to point out that May timeframe is ostensibly when the Owens compound in Casita is going up for bid for default. I find that interesting.
That is terribly coincidental, isn't it?
Yes, well, and IB is on the bucket. What? On the dot. What am I? Oh, God. Maybe I need to start
bucket?
drinking. Johnny on the spot. That's better. I just needed more water. So the second travel date is around the foreclosure, right? Yes, as far as we know, IB, that is the case. That was the date that the court gave for showing up. And if anyone wants to go in to purchase a certain house in Arizona, I suppose they could. You had to be at the court location that was all in the. We talked about that, I think, a while back.
I think so.
There was a date and a time and a place. So, I don't know. Maybe Clayton will buy another flipper house or rental property or Airbnb kind of thing. Who knows? Oh,
That would be terribly ironic if you were the one to actually buy that, and then that would be delicious.
I'm trying to figure out why StreamYard has certain things as PM. Is that just time stamps why is it doing that? That's weird.
On what?
Okay, I guess it's when names I keep seeing PM and is that a private message? No, it's just throwing me off. So Bruce says, who has money on Laura disappearing before her trial? I don't know where the office pool is being gathered there, but it could probably grow rather large.
Probably could.
It might grow as large as a certain GoFundMe. Da-dum-dum. Okay, I could push the button, but I won't. Oh, let's see, Volo IG. Let's see, I'm just skimming through chat really quick. Susan Dippity says Volo IG seems to provide more accurate info about hearings than JFC IG. JFCX seems to be a reliable source. I like that JFCX keeps linking AA's website for David Gingras. Yeah, I think a number of people are convinced that someone could use help. And I would say that's probably an accurate assessment.
Probably true.
Maybe that, it may be something else. I would say either way, they need professional involvement, just like Laura does. But I don't think either of them are. But that's my opinion. Bruce is going on it. Fugitive on the run. Just a backpack and the keys to Gingras' old boat sailing away to Cuba where there's no extradition. Don't give them ideas, Bruce.
Jeez, yeah, really.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, carrying on.
As far as we got dates in July, when do you want to come back for another complex case management conference?
So there is a plea deadline on the books right now for late in April. Mr. Leiter and I have talked about extending that just because the volume of discovery, I'm still going through it. We're going to need a little bit more time, but I think that a mid-May date probably, and I'm looking at if Your Honor has room on his calendar, the week of May 18th, I'd love to come back then. Realizing that Mr. Leiter hasn't actually given me an extension. I don't know if you had anything in the notes, Kevin, about that, but I think that week would be good to come back for a CCMC.
Can we accommodate that?
May 20th at 8:45.
How's May 20th at 8:45?
That works for defense. Thank you.
Is that good for the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. In the event you have trouble with the extending the plea deadline, we can get you on the calendar as needed if you need anything. All right. So Ms. Owens, you need back in my courtroom May 20th at 8:45 for a complex case management conference. Final trial management conference is July 22nd at 8:45, still in this courtroom. Trial assignments July 29th at 9 o'clock before the trial assignment judge. Same building, 5th floor, courtroom 5B. If you fail to appear, warrants could issue for your arrest. If you don't show up for trial, could occur in your absence. Got all that?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We're in recess in this matter.
Thank you, Judge.
The can
there
doth
she's
get
wearing-
kicked down the road.
And she's wearing black dress number 2. I think
God,
she only
she
wears
just-
2 things to the courtroom.
It's just
The sleeveless dress and that dress. I don't know why. Is someone dead?
like a walking. She looks like a walking corpse.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, I give 0 fucks. So fine. Like,
Well, I think
That
it's
is-
fair to say. As I eat my crackers because I'm still sort of eating. Haven't had dinner. It's okay. I'd much rather do this than have dinner right now. She's not well, physically or otherwise. And shame on the people who should be saying, get your ass to the hospital, get in treatment, do these things. And it's just not happening. She just runs roughshod over her parents. I mean, how dare they wouldn't dare cross her, I'm sure, among other things. And they're just as, I mean, this is family psychosis, in my opinion.
well,
The apple has not
as
fallen
we've
far
said,
from the tree.
as we've said on a multitude of occasions, that apple has not fallen far from the tree. Like you just
Not
said.
at all. Not at all. And if one were to listen to some of the other new creators to this story and to the history who are reviewing things, you will realize exactly what extent that is. I mean, mom's just as crazy as she is. I mean, we read some of the crazy. She was arped. She was sexually assaulted, and that Greg Woodnick and that Greg Gillespie orchestrated her sexual assault, and it was broadcast on the dark web, and it's part of Diddy, and it's part of the Florida thing, and it's this big sex conspiracy. Jesus fucking Christ!
Mm-hmm.
Pardon my French. It's like you're all nuts. I'm starting
That's
to
not
think
the worst thing I've ever said this week.
I think the entire household might be nuts. They might be certifiable. I mean, the antennas
With
are
proper
definitely
evaluations, absolutely.
Oh my God!
This is not. I don't like using the word normal a whole lot because the fuck is normal anyway. But none of this is normal.
Thank you, Henrietta. Gilgo Beach. I'm never going to remember Gilgo Beach for some reason. It's just I'm not paying attention to that whole thing. But well, when we're claiming that the conspiracies of God, I'm getting tongue tied because this is so outrageous. My daughter's part of a conspiracy. She was sexually assaulted. I mean, boo.
I-
No, maybe this
Yeah.
one's better.
Well,
They're all cuckoo.
yes, they're all cuckoo. And not for
Oy
Cocoa
vey.
Puffs.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Well, not even that. That might be an insult to Cocoa Puffs.
Probably.
Might be an insult to Cocoa Puffs. I don't know what we do about that. Oh, should we just move along to the next thing? We've got lots to cover.
Let's
Lots
just
to cover.
let's just do it.
I feel like I need some transition music, but I'll skip it for tonight. Or maybe not. Maybe I should. I didn't think about this. We're kind of slamming this together at the last minute tonight, folks, because we just roll that way. It's like, you want to do something? Oh, okay, let's do something.
I mean,
Should
and
we?
by
I don't
we,
know.
he actually
I don't know. What you want to do?
Because this is his show. I'm just here to drink and make snarky comments
He's just my patsy.
for this.
Well, everyone's got a thing. Oh, I don't even know where that is. Let's see. I can't find my songs. Where the devil are my songs? Oh, not that one. Not that one. Oh, where is it? That one? Maybe it's that one. Okay. Yes. Good. Now I can sort of fumble for some paperwork here. All right. Enjoy. We'll be back.
Oh, David Gingras, lawyer with flair, took on a case, thought he'd get somewhere. Laura Owens spun a tale so wild, claimed Clayton's twin said she bore his child. In the courtroom swing, they danced their plea, but the judge saw through that false decree. Paternity suit, it fell apart fast. Gingras' bold moves, they just couldn't last. 3 strikes, you're out. Gingras, hear the call. Your case struck out, watch it crumble and fall. Laura's lies, they swung and missed by a mile. 7 felonies down, no chance to restyle. Jazz it up, now the gavel's gonna slam. Gingras and Owens caught in their own jam.
Okay, that was enough time. I won't play the whole thing. I could, but there's some good stuff we've made. All right, so speaking of Dingus the douche canoe, that guy.
Fucking douche canoe.
We've got some DUI stuff to report this evening because a lot has been happening there. All of a sudden, that's heated up a little bit more. Maybe that's why he's been so talkative lately. In addition to all the bar craziness and him, well, we covered that the other night, him losing out on his wanting to depose everybody, which he thought was an absolute right for him to do because he's defending himself, and claiming that Jim Lee is a witness and therefore he has to respond. All of that stuff. We talked about it. Go back and watch. Now we've got some DUI stuff to catch up on. Isn't that great? So here we have. We have this. Oh, I mean, this is juicy stuff too. This is fairly fresh. If not yesterday, today. I can't remember which. So we have from his DUI counsel. I'm not sure what to call it. They are filing a response. Let's see. Is this who's this from? It's from the city prosecutor. So they have filed. That being Dingus the douche canoe.
The fucking douche canoe.
They have filed a motion to dismiss his DUI.
Oh.
And to suppress.
Okay.
So there's an initial response here from the city, but I think it has. Let's see, is this the right one? Let's see. To continue evidentiary hearing, maybe I should make sure I've got things roughly. No, you know what? I'm going to go in a slightly different order. How about them apples? Let's. I think the posting on the Twitter was in reverse, and that's just how I put them up. State of Arizona versus David Scott Gingras defendant. Motion to dismiss, suppress for lack of probable cause. I can't say that I've heard many of those in a DUI case. Because usually, they have things like body cam footage. They usually have things
All
like
that pesky body cam footage, yes.
and
Pesky
things like
evidence.
and things like field sobriety tests, which he declined, and then things like blood and chemical tests, which they took, which he had a 0.1. What the hell was it? 1112, something like that. He was definitely over the 08 limit, which many states have, but apparently, Arizona is not 08 like many other states. It's something impairment. Least impairment. What the hell was it called? Something impairment.
Oh, I should know that too, because we did talk about that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I've forgotten the term already. Someone in chat may poke it in there, and then I'll impaired to the least degree, I think is what it is. I think that's what it is.
Well, for our audience, would you please zoom in? Thank you very much.
Yeah. I was getting there. I know.
Yeah.
I have to sit back like 10 more feet because it's just, the character is the size of my nose. Okay.
I can't help the size of your nose. I just can only help the size of my glasses.
I didn't choose it, just like I didn't choose other things. But, you get what you get. That's
you
life.
get what you get.
So they want to dismiss it or suppress for lack of probable cause. In other words, saying, there ain't no there. Even though, we saw in the body cam footage, there was just a little bit of slurring. There was some belligerence.
In my less than humble opinion, plenty of there.
Yeah, in mine too. And if I were a jury member hearing this case, I go, yeah, he's for Schnickered. His passenger was wasted. He was for Schnickered.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got busted, and he got caught in a moving violation. So, I don't know how. I think this is the spaghetti thing. So let's read this. It's not long. David Gingras, by and through undersigned counsel, requests this court dismiss this case, or in the alternative, suppress all evidence illegally obtained in violation of defendant's constitutional rights under the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, as well as Article 2, Section 8 of the Arizona Constitution, after the arrest due to lack of probable cause. I would say traveling over the speed limit is definitely probable cause. Because he was doing, a 65 and a 30 or something like that?
I remember it was quite fast for the zone. And I can't cast a lot of stones out of my glass house when it comes to a lead foot from time to time. But you drive like a grandma.
I know, and my insurance loves me for it.
No. My insurance doesn't know any better, so whatever.
And as Henrietta says, if the COO smells alcohol, isn't there probable cause? Yeah, some would argue, that doesn't prove nothing. They could just be saying that. Well, they don't need much. It's like the bar for relevance is rather low. The bar for probable cause for a detainment, if not an investigation, is also equally low, if not lower. They feel anything out of... You can have a tail light out. That's probable cause.
That is a moving violation. You cannot have a fucking tail light out.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be anything. It could be you have a wobble in your tire. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things.
And they do to be clear, they do abuse that.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's just to get the foot in the door, in which this is why everyone has their day in court.
The marijuana. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bullshit. But whatever. You're gonna.
Well, all the stuff I watch, most of the time I smell it through the monitor. I'm like, oh my god, I can smell it through the internet. I can see it too. I can see the haze coming. Those are the good ones when they're like hot boxing in the car. Hey, there's no there ain't no weed in here, man. That's window open. Those are the best ones. No, man, that was just my vape.
Yeah.
This is why I don't do things. See, if you keep your nose clean, there's no way you can get busted for it.
Yeah, but you never leave the cubby hole. So, what? You're not going to get busted for shit.
I do. At least for Indian chicken nuggets.
That is true.
Yeah, see, there you go. And
just bring your overnight bag.
I know. I'm going to warn you now. I am overdue for some Indian chicken nuggets. I mean, I had
Bring
Thai
it.
for lunch today, but I am overdue for Indian chicken nuggets.
Well,
We
just
may
let me know.
discuss that later off the air.
Okay. Negotiations shall begin.
Bruce says the JT body cam stuff is pretty crazy. Ooh, who's JT? Oh, I don't even know what they're talking about in chat, but I'm curious. Okay, back to the paperwork. Facts. On July 6, 2025.
Facts.
I like facts. We like facts.
Beats facts. Oh, wait. Sorry. I went to office space. Or office. Please continue. Never mind.
All
me.
right. Very good. Just after midnight, Officer Blatchford stopped a car that David Gingras was driving for civil speeding? Is that really a term? Civil speeding? I've not heard that before. David had an intoxicated friend in the front passenger seat. Well, we saw that, didn't we? David confirmed with Officer Blatchford that he had drinks earlier, and he was drinking lots of water, so that should get him off the hook.
Yeah.
Officer Blatchford called for Officer Smith to come to the scene to do a DUI investigation. After some time had passed, Officer Smith arrived. And... Why are we saying that? Okay, Jesus. And immediately asked David to step out of the car. David exited the car without issue, which is good. That's wise.
That's what you do.
Do as you're told with the police and you're pulled over. That's not the place to argue anything. In response, actually, he did do some arguing.
Well,
I'm an attorney. I don't need to do this. I'm not going to do that. He did do some arguing, but never mind. In response to questioning by Officer Smith, David told Officer Smith that his friend had a lot to drink, so he was driving his friend's car back to the Scottsdale Princess, a resort. A Disney resort. No, it's not. But it's funny.
No,
it's like,
yeah.
why do we care if it's a resort? Where his friend was staying at. I don't know why this document has some weird issues with the typesetting and the print, but never mind. We can still read it. In
As long
response
as it's not color, it's fine.
No, it's not color. So we make all the rules as far as the State Bar version is concerned.
In the clear, yes.
We're in the clear there, yeah. I don't know. We'll see if there's any color highlights. It will be there. They could be mine. In response to Officer Smith's questioning about whether David had consumed any alcohol, David confirmed he had a little to drink, like a beer or two. Isn't it always just a beer or two?
It's always just a little, and it's always just one or two.
Yeah, always. Officer Smith then said she has to make sure he's okay to drive and asked David to face her. I mean, that was probable cause. And he admitted to having had a drink or two. I think that's enough. What do I know? David responded by telling Officer Smith that he was not going to do FSTs, field sobriety tests. This was when Officer Smith was preparing to administer SFSTs to David. When Officer Smith asked David why he was not going to do them, the FSTs, David said it was because he was a lawyer. Officer Smith was preparing to administer SF. Why is one SF? Well, I don't get it. Standard field sobriety test. I figured it out. Ding. David indicated he was not going to do them because he was an attorney. Let's see. Officer Smith tried to educate David on the law for SFSTs and continued to explain the legality of SFSTs and impaired to the slightest degree law in Arizona by citing case law to David, but no SFSTs were done because he refused them. Well, I mean, that's factually true, but it doesn't say that yet. No PBT was administered, at least on site. We saw that later. Officer Smith then told David the following. You understand that I have to go off what I have right now. So if I arrest you now on your criminal speed, well, it isn't criminal, so you're speeding. Well, had to go slightly faster. It could have been criminal speed, I suppose.
You double the speed limit. I mean, that's kind of egregious, but okay.
If you're speeding and you're going, they can get you for going 2 over if they want to.
Well, they can, but those types of tickets are covered. Yes, but those types of tickets are covered in feathers. So, they typically ignore that until it's something obnoxious. And like, gee, doing 60-something in a 30 is, I think that qualifies.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, the second they pull you over for anything, that's probable cause right there. Boom, done. In my opinion, as a non-legal professional.
Look, as long as it's legit, then yeah.
Oh, let's see. So criminal speed. Well, it wasn't criminal, so you're speeding. But then signs and symptoms of alcohol consumption. That's all you're giving me. Unless you would just let me look at your eyes, rule you out, and get you out of here. You understand that? ? So you could blow well under right now, or I could check your eyes and make sure you're completely fine at your eyes and leave right now. Officer Smith continued. So you understand that you're preventing me from doing any sort of investigation to rule you out, and I have to make a decision. She continued. You do understand that you are putting my back against the wall, your eyes are bloodshot and watery. There's an odor coming from the car and you're speeding, and I've heard him use the excuse of, my eyes are always glassy and watery when I wear contacts. I saw that in a thing in one of his recent videos. So already I see him trying to, breadcrumb excuses.
Was that before
for
or
the DUI.
after this whole debacle?
I think it was on a recent video. He was talking about his contacts and his eyes.
He's just trying to fucking do what
I
he does.
haven't showed really any of the videos from the recent blog postings because, well, he gets a little nasty. So it's like, well, all right, you want people to share stuff and share your side of it, but then you get nasty and you go after them. So why should we?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. There's an odor coming from the car and you're speeding. I have to go based on what I have. Officer Smith then placed David under arrest for DUI. David consented to chemical testing, which revealed his blood and breath alcohol concentration. The state charged David with DUI impaired to the slightest degree and DUI .08 and more, because it was .1 something. I remember. Law and argument. So where's this going? It's the state's burden to prove that all evidence obtained in a criminal case was obtained legally. Well, he consented to the. Are we seeing more bad lawyering here? What's going on?
They all seem to attract a bunch of shite lawyers. So I guess maybe, yeah.
It's
kind of humorous, really.
It's all on tape. Where is this going? Okay, we'll keep reading. I'm asking questions too soon. When the validity
asking questions on all of this nonsense is too soon anyway, because it's like none of it makes sense because it's all just conjured up in his cuckoo brain. But yeah. Oh, that was my outside comment. Please continue.
Yeah. When the validity of an arrest is questioned, the burden is on the state to show that probable cause existed. Furthermore, Rule 12, what does that say? Rule 6.2 of Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure.
16. Yeah, I don't know.
2B, yeah. The rules state that the prosecutor shall have the burden of proving by preponderance of the evidence the lawfulness in all respects of the acquisition of all evidence which the prosecutor will use at trial. Given the factual circumstances of this matter and the legal analysis provided infra therein, the state will be unable to meet their burden. Ooh.
Huh.
Let's see. Shall we see if that's true? I think it's a slam dunk case, quite frankly, from what I saw in the body cam footage. Arizona.
I mean, that's usually what trials are for, is to prove the fucking case. But hey,
sure.
we're gonna try this bullshit, in a motion. Okay.
Of course,
it's the hard. My brain is just can't just. Why? This is stupid. This is unnecessary. But
I've got a hunch. I'll share it later. I'll share it at the bottom of this. I have a hunch. I think this is just. Well, I'll share it now. I think this is delay tactics. I think he wants to keep his law degree intact until something with someone's criminal case is concluded. I think is the movement here. We can't use our bar card as a weapon if it's yanked away, especially if there's, because he's got bar action, we've got DUI action, and there could be crossover paths there that could expedite some things.
It can't represent, LO if he doesn't actually have a right to practice law.
Well, it would be very difficult for him to cover his ass in things like bankruptcy proceedings that he wants to occasionally opt into to cover his ass for what he recommended she do, which we'll get to later. So he wants to keep his bar card around. In my opinion, this is all my opinion, folks. As I state in the disclaimer, these are all my opinions. Jeep Daddy's opinions are his opinions.
Mm-hmm.
it's harder for him to cover his ass for the bad legal advice he gave people if he doesn't have a bar card to submit filings and pleadings and motions and all that stuff. It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
I mean, he still could, but it doesn't come
Maybe.
with sort of the drive-through window approach for attorneys who are licensed and good standing with the bar. I get the impression that if one is not a member of the bar, you may not necessarily get the clerk's attention quite so easily at the window of the courthouse. It's just a rumor. It's just a rumor.
Yeah, maybe.
If you're Joe Blow off the street, or if they know you're a disgraced attorney, they may be a little less in a hurry to help you.
I think the clerk has got like a list of like pictures on the wall of just like, don't accept checks from that asshole, or like, sort of thing. Like, yeah, just something equivalent to that. That would be delightful.
That would be a circle. That would be a circle. It could be like Megan Fox's wall of shame, which is full of bad judges and attorneys, apparently.
Yes.
I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. I saw Ducky came in. Nice to see you, Ducky. I saw it fly
Hi, Ducky.
by. I've been watching lots of Ducky's streams lately because it's good timing while I'm at work, puttering at work, and Ducky's been at it. She's doing good stuff, and it's funny too, especially when she gets very matter of fact. Ducky's funny when she's very blunt. Where was I? God, I forgot my place.
You're somewhere around that Arizona revised statute thing, I think, line
state
11
will be
or
unable
whatever.
to meet their burden. ARS provides authority to police officers to arrest without a warrant. That section states in pertinent part, it says, a peace officer may, without a warrant, arrest a person if he has probable cause to believe a misdemeanor or petty offense has been committed and probable cause to believe the person to be arrested has committed the offense. Okay, that's obvious, right? In that case law, oh God, now we're going to, attorneys, I swear. In dealing with probable cause is the very name of prize. We deal with probability, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now it gets harder to read. These are not technical. They are factual and practical considerations of everyday life on which reasonable and prudent men, not legal technicians, act. Why is this so messed up?
I don't know. This is weird.
It's like they've done a lot of revisions and it just it's spliced. I'm starting to see like whiteout tape within all this.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. If I zoom in a little more, can I see something in the image? I don't know what's going on here. Probable cause exists only when the facts and circumstances known at the time are sufficient to lead a reasonable person to believe a crime was committed by the suspect. Okay. Moreover, the standard of probable cause is greater than mere suspicion, and Arizona courts have recognized that. Oh, now this is impossible. The requirement of probable cause to make a warrantless arrest must be strictly enforced. It's all muddled in all this text here. Sorry, folks. I didn't make it. Someone screwed the pooch in their formatting here. There was not even an HGN test. HGN. What's HGN? God, I'm thinking Owens now with HCG. This is driving me crazy.
That's where I immediately went. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, somebody in chat help us out. What the fuck is HGN?
Let me get a search bar. I'm going to need an HGN test. Field sobriety test. Of course it is. Horizontal gaze nystagmus. I should have known that.
Yeah, that's the thing where like you look at that and
follow the finger, follow the or the little red light or whatever it is they want to use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's not even a horizontal gaze nystagmus test conducted in this matter because he refused it. Which in most jurisdictions is immediate arrest. And the Arizona Supreme Court has stated that in a DUI case, there must be more than an HGN test. Yes. Oh, golly. For probable cause to conduct a warrantless arrest. Well, if he refuses and they smell it and they've got evidence of it, this seems like it's arguing the wrong things. They must not have many excuses.
Mm-hmm.
As Jenny Couchferry says, he refused. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, when it comes to being suspected of DUI, you refuse a test to dispel their belief that you are in fact intoxicated. They can get you. Well, I don't know any jurisdiction that's different.
And I fully support everybody's right to improper search and refuse that. That does, though, have consequences.
Yeah, it's called getting arrested.
Right? Because if that's all they have to go on, they're going to make a decision based on that. So, yeah, refuse the search because you have that right. But just be aware that then they're going to make their accusation and say, "Oh, I think that's a thing because based on what I see." I don't know. It's just a lawyer should know this. I'm just a dipshit who drinks and drives Jeeps, and I know that. Why would somebody like this guy not? That blows my mind.
Yeah. Jen the Couch Fairy also says TX can refuse, Texas, I assume, can refuse too, but then you go to jail and get tested. I'm okay with refusing. Stupid human tricks are too subjective.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
In Blake, the Arizona Supreme Court found an HGN test result may be used to help establish probable cause to arrest. The court in Blake found sufficient probable cause based on erratic driving, fair performance on field sobriety tests, smell of alcohol, appearance, and HGN. Blake was a close call, and in the matter before this court, there was much less for the officer to rely on to establish probable cause. Oh, so we're arguing because nothing was done, they didn't have enough to take him away. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Then anyone who refuses to do field sobrieties can say, "Oh, well, you didn't have probable cause. Let me go." That's absurd.
Mm-hmm.
While not binding precedent, the defense offers cases from other jurisdictions for this court's consideration. So this is spaghetti. We are throwing spaghetti because we are using non-controlling cases. Oh my God. From other places even. In determining that Deputy Henderson did not have the requisite probable cause to make a warrantless arrest. That's ridiculous. Saucier versus State. Or Saucier or Saucier. I don't know. No probable cause. Defendant was driving while intoxicated when only evidence was his minor driving errors and the facts that he emitted a normal odor of alcohol, admitted to having a couple of beers, and refused to perform field sobriety tests. 2. People versus Roybal. Colorado, apparently. Fact driver was involved in an accident and had an odor of alcoholic beverage about him was insufficient to support probable cause. But there was an accident. Oh my God. Let's see. State v. Johnson. Evidence that defendant had an odor of alcohol and breath, watery eyes, and walked back to the police car in a slow and deliberate manner does not support determination of probable cause. State v. Taylor. The act of speeding at a normal excess, coupled with arresting officers' perception of the odor of alcohol and nothing more, did not furnish probable cause to arrest the defendant for driving under the influence. Interesting. Let's see. State v. Finch. It is not a violation of the law to drive smelling of alcohol? Wow. That's not probable cause? Okay, moving along. I think I know where this is going.
Okay.
He can drive like an absolute maniac, and even if he did smell like alcohol or have bloodshot watery eyes, and even if he blew something, that's not probable cause. So really, anybody who's driving under the influence and bears all the hallmarks of impairment shouldn't be arrested nor charged. That's where this is going. I'll bet you.
Okay.
I think that's where this is going. Let's see if I'm right. Everyone should be allowed to drive around smelling like alcohol and driving like a moron while they're impaired. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think I'm right?
I mean,
let's see. We're nearly there. Defendant's unexplained erratic driving around at the time the bars close. Okay, this is another case. State v. Swanson. Sorry, I was picturing this about David for some reason.
Yeah, me too. And I
stumbling around after the bars closed, driving his intoxicated friend while he was also inebriated. Combined with an odor of toxicants constitute reasonable suspicion to investigate the defendant, but not probable cause to arrest him. Okay, this is hurting my head. Here. David Gingras. Officer Smith lacked probable cause to arrest David. The assumption of alcohol and the operation of a motor vehicle are commonplace What are commonplace behaviors in our society? And it is likewise commonplace behavior for people to drive a vehicle after consuming alcoholic beverages, but not
Well, I
over
mean,
legal limits.
that's a sad reality, sure, but that's not an excuse for him being over the legal limit and driving impaired.
They sure seem to want it to be an excuse.
Wow.
It's commonplace. He should be allowed to do it. Oh my effing God. I'm going to read that one more time. The consumption of alcohol and the operation of a motor vehicle, there's a missing L there, are commonplace behaviors in our society. And it is likewise commonplace behavior for people to drive a vehicle after consuming alcoholic beverages. It is not, however, I would opine, legal, especially when over whatever limits the state sets for impairment,
Oh, so is it okay because if like everybody goes out and
because
like
everybody does it.
because everybody goes out and gets in a dispute with their neighbor about a fence line or something and then like kills them. Well, everybody does that, therefore it shouldn't that shouldn't be probable cause for arrest. No, 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 no. That should be just because everybody does it, therefore it shouldn't be a crime. Okay.
Weird. Here, the officer stated rationale forming the basis of probable cause to David was his bloodshot watery eyes, his civil speeding, and the odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle which he had already exited. Officer Smith even admitted to David showing signs of consumption of alcohol as it relates to his bloodshot watery eyes, but no evidence of driving while impaired and no evidence of driving with a prohibited alcohol concentration in his system. What? They tested him later and it was of over 08. What the hell? I'm confused. I'm confused.
Yeah. I don't know. I appreciate the comment in the chat there that like maybe somebody was drunk while they were actually writing this because that would explain how it all, I don't know.
Conclusion. Part the third. Conclusion. The result of the fact that the police lacked probable cause to arrest David Davod. All evidence obtained after.
Maybe they really were drunk.
Aha.
That is.
Well, I was.
That. Yeah. That's a. Why? Oh my God! Please go.
I was partly right. They had no right to arrest him. There go. Everything that happened after the fact is illegal.
Yeah, that's the
and should be
TLDR.
thrown out.
Yep.
Oh,
wow.
We have a state. We have a city's response. Well, I would say state, but it's the city of Scottsdale. All evidence obtained after the unlawful arrest on this matter must be suppressed as the fruits of an illegal arrest. See Wong Sun v. U.S. Providing that where a person has been seized unlawfully, all incidental search is also unlawful, and the fruits of that search. If this were the case, absolutely everybody driving drunk would never be charged for DUI. If I understand this correctly.
That seems to be what they're arguing.
It does. Signed and dated April 2nd, 2026, Rosenstein Law Group PLLC. So this is signed by his attorneys. Everyone does it, and it's not probable cause. So if you do it, then any evidence you get that he was actually, in fact, intoxicated is therefore illegal. Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Patently ridiculous.
Let's see. Is this one dated too? Okay. I think I'll keep working backwards, sort of. So there's also a motion to continue the evidentiary hearing. Defendant by and through undersigned counsel and hereby requests this honorable court continue the evidentiary hearing scheduled on April 20 of 2026, 3 p.m. As undersigned counsel has a scheduling conflict and is scheduled to appear at trial conference in another county, blah, 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 blah. So Rosenstein is unavailable, I guess. Is that right? Yes. Blake Comey for Rosenstein. Okay. So let's see. And then it was ordered matters be set. Let's see. This pursuant to sort of this matter is being set to an evidentiary court hearing. Is this just the follow up? Pursuant to defense attorney's motion to dismiss. Date 3. This matter is being set for an evidentiary hearing. Okay. So he sends that. The court orders an evidentiary hearing for April 20, and then he responds, "Oh, I'm busy." Undersigned counsel would be available on April 21st. Okay, so there's going to be an evidentiary hearing for this motion to dismiss. All right, next document, moving right along. Unopposed motion to continue evidentiary hearing, jury trial, and set scheduling conference. See who's also by Rosenstein. My God, they've been busy. Defendant by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby requests the court to continue the evidentiary hearing. Trial set on April 27 and set this matter for scheduling conference. What is going on? We're moving dates like crazy. Undersigned counsel filed a motion to dismiss that requires an evidentiary hearing on April 2. The court originally scheduled this matter for an evidentiary hearing on 20. However, undersigned counsel is not available. In addition, counsel intends on calling an expert witness to testify at the evidentiary hearing, so counsel will need to ensure a date is set that the expert can attend. For these reasons, we respectfully request that the jury trial scheduled on the 27th be continued and that this matter be set for a scheduling conference so the evidentiary hearing and jury trial can be set. Undersigned counsel has contacted Nicholas Hartman for the state, who has no opposition so long as time is waived. Okay. Ooh, this is starting to heat up a little bit. All right, next document. This one gets more interesting. From Luis Isantaela, interim city attorney in the city of Scottsdale Court, responds to defendant's motion to dismiss, suppress, probable cause to arrest before the Honorable Patricia George, evidentiary hearing for 2026 courtroom 4, blah, 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 blah. The state of Arizona, by and through undersigned counsel, moves the court to deny the defense motion for reasons below. Respectfully submitted. Oh, let's see where this goes, shall we? Oh my God. I feel like I need some clown music, but I don't want to bore people that much. Memorandum of points.
You keep at that. I'm gonna excuse myself off the stage here for just a hot
Very
second,
well.
and I will be right back.
Memorandum of points and authorities. Facts, because I like facts. Scottsdale police officer Christina Smith, that's her badge number, assigned to the nighttime DUI unit, arrested the defendant. Relevant parts of her departmental report describe her contact with and arrest of the defendant as follows. And for those of you who remember the DUI body cam footage, which we played here, which would be a matter of something, it would be something submitted into evidence, I would assume. Here's more written form of same. On 7/6/2025 at approximately 00:08 hours, that's early in the morning. I'm usually asleep at that time of the night. I was on patrol operating as a traffic unit in a semi-marked SPD Tahoe, wearing full regulation SPD blue uniform and issued body-worn camera, which was activated throughout the investigation. I responded to a traffic stop at North Scottsdale Road, East Cactus Road. Reference, a possible impaired driver. That was one Dingus the douche canoe.
The fucking douche canoe.
When I arrived on scene, I observed officers had stopped a gray Nissan Rouge displaying the plates, which don't matter. I then spoke with Officer Blatchford, and their badge number there, who had conducted the traffic stop on the vehicle. Officer Blatchford informed me. Okay, time out. We need to wet the whistle a little more. Officer Blatchford, who conducted the traffic stop on the vehicle, informed me that he had observed the vehicle traveling northbound. I guess it was traveling north. Okay, I couldn't tell in the footage. On Scottsdale Road at Mountain View Road at a high rate of speed. Officer Blatchford is radar certified and informed me his radar displaying the vehicle traveling at 61 in a 45. Okay, there we go. There we go. We've got the speed and the speed zone limits. That's very useful. 61 and a 45. Officer Blatchford then got behind the vehicle and initiated a traffic stop, and the vehicle stopped just east of North Scottsdale Road, Cactus Road. He informed me the driver was identified through his Arizona driver's license as David Gingras. I was also informed that David had a front passenger who was heavily intoxicated, and we saw that in the footage. He was very intoxicated. He was falling over drunk, intoxicated. Had David been that intoxicated, I think I'd be even more outraged. Luckily, he wasn't. He was still impaired, according to the evidence we saw in the body cam footage as reported by the officer in said footage. But I digress. Officer Blatchford advised that David had bloodshot glassy eyes and the odor of intoxicating liquors coming from his breath. David initially stated he had no alcohol that day, but when asked again, stated he had consumed alcohol earlier that day. Officer Blatchford informed me that David appeared to not want to answer questions related to alcohol, and kept stating he was fine. I then took over the DUI investigation. I then approached the vehicle and contacted David, who was still seated in the driver's seat. I identified myself to David, informed him I was there to make sure he was okay to drive, and asked him to step out of his vehicle. David complied with my request after he didn't comply, I think, with the previous officer's request, as memory serves. It's a little fuzzy now, I can't quite remember, but it seemed like he was not in a hurry to get out initially. He was a little bit sassy. David complied with the request, exited his vehicle, and followed me just west of his vehicle. When asked where he was coming from, David stated Scottsdale, and stated his friend had a lot to drink and he was driving him and his vehicle back to the hotel. When asked which hotel, David stated the Scottsdale Princess, but they were having trouble getting there. Evidently, they were too intoxicated to even use their phone for directions. When asked where in Scottsdale they were coming from, David informed me they were at Toco Madera. David then stated he had a little bit to drink. When asked to specify how much that was, he informed me he had a beer or two, but had consumed water over the last several hours. While speaking with David, I observed his eyes. They were bloodshot, watery, and I could smell odor of intoxicating liquors coming from his breath. David denied any prescription medication, illegal drug, or marijuana use. He also informed me he had no recent head or eye injuries and was currently wearing contacts. Aha! Aha! I knew it. I knew it. That's why he said it in his video. He's warming up for this. I then attempted to get David in the ready stance for HGN. As I did so, David stated, I'm not willing to do FSTs. When asked why, he informed me he was a lawyer and that the tests were not required. I tried to educate David on the law for SFSTs and asked what type of law he practiced. However, he refused to tell me. He's an internet lawyer. Oh, yeah. He's an experienced lawyer? Is that the words? Experienced lawyer. Oh, yeah. Got a DUI and a couple ladies to tell. Do you? I'm thinking the Megan Fox song. Sorry, folks. Internet lawyer. Oh, yeah. Oh, I continued to explain the legality of the SFTs. However, David, he continued to refuse to cooperate. Yeah, that's usually not good when you refuse to cooperate. At approximately 0027 hours, I placed David under arrest for DUI. He was handcuffed to the rear. Handcuffs checked for fit and double locked. To commit an offense, here's the argument. To commit an offense under Arizona's DUI statutes, the defendant must be under the influence of intoxicating liquor while driving or in actual physical control of the vehicle. ARS 28-, etc., etc. Whether probable cause exists depends on all of the facts and circumstances known at the time of arrest, and those facts may include the collective knowledge of all the officers involved in the case. State v. Keener. Arrest permissible if arresting officer has probable cause to believe both that offense occurred and person to be arrested committed offense. Arizona courts define probable cause as such a state of facts as would lead a man of ordinary caution or prudence to believe and conscientiously entertain a strong suspicion of guilt. Do you want to come back, or are you hiding out?
I was just sitting here, like, enjoying my your dissertation here and enjoying my granola. But yes,
My oration?
Yeah, by all means.
Well, it
please
is very
continue.
riveting reading. Bruce very rightly points out the additional facts that we saw from the body cam footage. David Gingras gave an inconsistent statement. First stating no booze.
No booze,
then
and then,
booze.
oh, but I had two. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Excellent, Detective Moose. He's absolutely right. Let's see. Only the probability and not a prima facie showing of criminal activity is the standard for probable cause to arrest. As a general rule, probable cause to make an arrest exists when the arresting officer has reasonably trustworthy information of facts and circumstances sufficient to lead a reasonable man, or woman, I would say, to believe an offense is being or has been committed and that the person to be arrested committed it.
A reasonable person. Yes.
None of them are reasonable in the Owens verse, but that's my not so humble opinion. We're entitled,
Certainly
we're
not
arrogant, we're
mine.
assholes, we're dickheads. But reasonable, I don't think they are.
No.
Probable cause exists where the arresting officers have reasonably trustworthy information of facts and circumstances which are sufficient in themselves to lead a reasonable man to believe an offense. Okay, I already read that, didn't I? Moving along. Probable cause is something much less than the proof needed to convict and something more than just raw suspicions. It is a practical, non-technical concept acting as a compromise between society's need for effective law enforcement and individual citizens. Why do we have ones instead of apostrophes? Interest in liberty. I mean, golly, I can spell check those and grammar check those and punctuation check those. Okay. Probable cause, by its very nature, implies the use of probabilities. For such a determination, there can be no formula because each case is decided on its own facts and circumstances. When the police make an arrest based on probable cause, it is not material that the person arrested may turn out to be innocent, and the arresting officer is not required to conduct a trial before determining whether or not to make the arrest. An arresting officer is entitled to draw specific reasonable inferences from the facts in light of his own experience, as well as the transmitted experience of other police officers in making a determination of probable cause. Probable cause to arrest without a warrant exists if the arresting officer has reasonable grounds to believe that an offense is being or has been committed by the person arrested. Whether sufficient information exists depends on the totality of the facts and circumstances known to the police officers at the time of arrest. When arresting a suspect for DUI, the arresting officer is entitled to draw specific reasonable inferences from the facts in light of her own experience. Oh, okay. Her in brackets. State v. Superior Court. A finding of probable cause to arrest the defendant did not necessarily require a lengthy deliberation by the officer. It existed the moment he reasonably believed the defendant had driven the vehicle in question while intoxicated. This sounds too reasonable.
Yeah. But again, this is coming from a reasonable human versus
I hope he's not
dipshit.
trying to, backseat write filings for his DUI defense via his...
Oh my God, wouldn't that just be amazing?
Throw him in the clink.
Oh my God.
There existed probable cause for the DUI arrest here, given the legal standard that exists for probable cause. A police officer does not even have to actually witness bad driving in order to make a stop of a motorist. A citizen's tip that a possible DUI may be in progress have been found to be enough to permit a stop, even absent the officer witnessing impaired driving. In its latest case, the Arizona Court of Appeals affirmed these basic principles. Section 13, etc. ARS allows a peace officer to make an arrest if he or she has probable cause to believe a felony or misdemeanor has been committed in the officer's presence and the person arrested has committed the crime. This is starting to get repetitive. Police officer has probable cause when the reasonably trustworthy information and circumstances would lead a person to believe the suspect has committed the offense. We've heard this before. Let's see. Does not require law enforcement to show the operator was under the influence. Only the probability. When addressing whether probable cause exists, we deal probabilities. These are not technical; they are factual, practical considerations. Okay, yes, this is just reiterating. It seems. In arresting Morin for a suspected violation of ARS, Officer Sanchez concluded it's probable that he was impaired to the slightest degree due to the influence of intoxicating liquor. When making this determination, the officer was permitted to draw inferences based on his training and experience. Given the odor of intoxicants coming from Morin, his confusion about his basic identifying information, and his performance on the HGN test, there was a likelihood he had been driving a vehicle in violation of all of that. Impairment judgment from alcohol consumption could violate statute. Evidence of bad driving unnecessary to establish DUI. Although Morin contends his medical conditions and other... I'm thinking about someone talking about their eyewear. Medical conditions, other circumstances could have accounted for some of the apparent signs of impairment observed by Officer Sanchez. We conclude a reasonably cautious person would find it probable that Morin was driving while impaired by alcohol to the slightest degree. Accordingly, we find no error in the trial court's denial of the motion to suppress evidence. Bunch of case law. Law enforcement is only required to show that the suspect was probably intoxicated. Because law enforcement is not required to show that the operator was in fact under the influence, only the probability and not a prima facie showing of intoxication is the standard for probable cause. Case law. The police must have collective knowledge of reasonably trustworthy information, facts, circumstances which are sufficient in themselves to lead a reason, blah, 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 that they committed it. Moving along. Thus, in the DUI context, probable cause does not require a law enforcement officer to establish that the person was in fact under the influence of intoxicant. Rather, the probability is the standard for probable cause. Probable cause is something less than proof needed to convict on something more suspicious. Yeah, we've heard this already. I like they're very clear. They reiterate multiple times in case you missed it the first 10 times. Oh, only the probability, blah, blah. Okay, moving along. Our courts have long recognized that collective knowledge of law enforcement officers may be considered to establish probable cause. Okay. This is why more than one shows up
Goodness.
at an investigation.
Yes.
Hey, Joe, do you think he is? Yeah. Hey, Lou, what about you? Marissa? Sure.
Yeah.
Linda? Oh, definitely.
Right.
Sarge? He's drunker than a skunk's tail.
A skunk's tail. That's a good one.
I don't know. I don't know what it's
I don't know.
for.
When I was riding around with sheriff's departments, PDs back in the day, touching, like having your tires go over the center line or like any other lane divider, that
Not failing to maintain lane.
Correct. And
I
like,
believe is the
so if
phrase.
sure. And if you touched it like 2 or 3 times, that was enough, especially if it was like back and forth, sort of thing. But like, I don't know. Maybe that's not enough probable cause for dumbass here. I don't know. But that was usually one of the many things that potentially could, justify
One of many
pulling over.
things. Yeah, I mean, you could be sneezing and do that, and they can still pull you over.
Yes,
And
but
if
I mean, do you
they
take the
smell
fucking
the alcohol in you, that's all it takes.
Right, but you take the fucking test, and like if it's only been literally one beer, and you're not over the limit, take the fucking side test and let's move along with our lives.
You're not gonna have a 0.11 whatever it was he had with just a beer or maybe 2 several hours ago when we've been drinking water.
That's
we either had a lot more and we're still coming down,
mm-hmm.
or it was more recent and there was still more. Because he's not a small dude.
No,
he's not a small dude. He's certainly taller than Laura and certainly bigger.
Well, that's like 95% of the world.
Yeah. The Court of Appeals found probable cause under extremely minimal clues from an incapacitated and stationary driver established probable cause for DUI arrest. See, it doesn't take much. We already said that. In addition to observing open beer containers in and around the car, this is another case reference, of course, emergency personnel who attended him at the scene told police they detected the odor of intoxicants on his breath. Moreover, the distinct strong odor of alcohol emanating from the person's position in the driver's seat became stronger when he attempted to speak to the deceased. Oh my God, front seat passenger. Holy shit, There was a decedent. Yikes, that's getting pretty bleak. This is getting dark.
God damn. That turned
the
a
accident
corner I
occurred
wasn't
in
expecting.
broad daylight when Ailman crossed the center line and collided head on with oh God, it was a head on.
Oh,
sweet Jesus.
Okay.
The record reflects no circumstances other than the impairment to explain the collision. See, other cases suggest the same minimal standard. Trial court properly admitted defendant's blood test results after he had driven his car into the path of an oncoming vehicle, caused death of driver, smell of alcohol at the scene, and during questioning at the hospital, even though defendant was not under arrest at the time. Let's see. Officer had probable cause to make a DUI arrest after officer found defendant unconscious in vehicle parked off roadway and noting strong odor of alcoholic beverage on him in the vehicle. Sufficient evidence supported probable cause finding defendant's car rear-ended other vehicle, and paramedic at scene detected odor of alcohol that could have been produced by defendant's consumption of alcohol or something else associated with his injuries, despite defendant's contention that none of the officers determined independently that there was alcohol in his breath. An unexplained accident and odor of alcohol was enough to arrest Owens. Moreover, even if officers do not believe that they have probable cause, this court is not bound by this determination. Blah, blah, blah. Officer might have probable cause to arrest even though he thought he did not. Police observations collectively constitute not only a basis to stop defendant, but also are part of the probable cause to arrest. In State X McDougal v. Superior Court, all that stuff. The defendant was arrested for a misdemeanor offense of driving under the influence, although officers never saw him drive. The arrest occurred after a citizen who had seen the defendant driving erratically offered to get into his car and drive for him. She then promptly drove to the police station where she reported his drinking and driving to officers standing nearby.
Nice.
That's great.
Nice.
Let me help you. I'll just drive you to the police station and tell them you're drunk driving. Here, officers, here they are. That's great. I'm not sure I would be that with it, because it's not like, they're not like Starbucks. They're not just on every corner, or McDonald's for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
The officer saw the defendant staggering, smelled alcohol in him, and arrested him. Okay. The court there held that the officers had PC to arrest based on their personal observations of the defendant's apparent intoxication and the citizen's report of his poor driving. In State v. Tellez, the court held that the arresting officer had PC to make an arrest based upon observing a traffic offense, making a stop, and thereafter observing the defendant's condition. Primarily his speech pattern and slow reactions. He was slurring just a little bit. Even I heard it. The Tellez court noted that the defendant had no liquor on his breath, but he did have punctures in his arms. The court found that the officers thus acted reasonably in concluding that the defendant had committed the offense of driving while under the influence of narcotics. Based upon these minimal observations. Puncture ones say some things, don't they? As noted above, the totality of the facts and circumstances determines whether probable cause is present. The defendant may assert that various portions of the PC may have wholly innocent, easily explained origins. My contacts gave me glassy eyes, Your Honor. Our courts repeatedly rejected this type of challenge and stopped detention motions based upon reasonable suspicion, and the same analysis pertains in terms of PC. In deciding whether the police have a particularized and objective basis for suspecting that a person engaged in criminal activity, we look at the whole picture or the totality of the circumstances. The police did not arrest here until probable cause existed to make that arrest. Whether the defendant has in fact been arrested is to be tested by the objective evidence and not by the subjective belief of the parties. See, more case law. Whether defendant has been arrested turns upon an evaluation of all the surrounding circumstances, from whether reasonable person innocent of any crime would reasonably believe he is being arrested. Conclusion. Based on the foregoing, the state moves the court to deny the defense motion and all requested relief, submitted April 7 by Seth Peterson, Assistant City Prosecutor. Is there anything? We got a minute entry. Pursuant to defense attorney's motion to continue, it is ordered defense attorney's motion to continue is granted for 7/26. So they're kicking the can further. All right, what else we got? Is that the end of that? Have we had enough DUI talk? I think that's all of it.
It's like keep just more delays. Like push it off.
Delay. There's no
reasons.
PC. Dismiss it and seal it. Well, okay. Let's move along. Let's move along to the next item up for bid.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Do I want to do this? Oh, I should have done this when we were talking about Laura Owens. Sorry. This tab got out of order. Okay. So we've covered some douche canoe and some DUI stuff. Let's go over here. This is this is Twitter's. This is JFC stuff. This is more upon Laura Owens. So there was a docket entry and a management report, which I thought was slightly interesting. And I cannot embiggen. I'm sorry. This is how big it gets. That's what she said.
That's what she said, or he said, or they said.
I'll read it aloud somewhat accurately. This is the complex case joint case management report for hearing date 4/8/2026, which we heard the very brief, less than 3-minute hearing thereof. And this was, I think, sent by Christian Leaders. List all defendants active cases and defendants probation cases. There are none. Specific progress. Okay, so this is the report for the hearing, I guess. Let's see. Specific progress made since the last CCMC in completing activities previously established by the court, etc. Plea agreement proffered. Defense continues to review discovery. So he's buried in the paperwork. It's at least 5,000 pages, allegedly.
Goodness.
The specific case preparation to be completed before the next CCMC. Set settlement conference, and if no resolution, prepare for trial. I don't think there's going to be a resolution. Witnesses who have been interviewed since last court proceeding, none. Witnesses who will be interviewed before, unknown. Status of and plans for settlement discussions will set within the next 30 to 45 days. Status of discovery and disclosure, including whether any remains outstanding. If so, the efforts that are being made to complete the same. Discovery/disclosure is complete. Any substantive motions that are contemplated and the anticipated filing of such motions, not at this time. Viability of the current trial schedule. Current trial date is unrealistic from the defendant's perspective. Even though when he signed on, this is Christian Leaders, said he was ready for trial in July. Interesting. Of course she doesn't think it's reasonable. I never want to be charged for the crimes I committed, ever.
None of this is reasonable, and I don't want to be charged at all.
Other pending issues to be resolved, not at this time. Victims' rights have been complied with. Yes, is the checkbox marked. Okay, and that's just their stuff. We don't care about that. All right, moving on to the next thing. So that was for the hearing. Now, let's see. Is there anything that I want to do ahead of this? Oh, damn it. Why is it doing this? Okay, one of the other things I wanted to do on Twitter, just reload it, and now I've lost it. While we're talking about dingus. So let's go here. This is also from the SJAVL. I'll abbreviate. At Clayton's Justice on the Twitters. We're talking about more douche canoe blog postings. And I love this. This is great. What day would be complete without an unhinged blog from DUI Esquire? David Gingras included a list of questions and answers between Jim Lee and Harry Howe, Judge Mata's dad. These answers are still not good enough for this delusional man. Case in point, Judge Mata states that Owens v. Eckerd case received a lot of publicity, and David turns this into a conspiracy theory. How would Judge Mata know this? Was she looking at social media? Dude, if you had taken the time to learn about the case you took on, you would know that even during the February evidentiary hearing, they were discussing the publicity and online coverage surrounding the case. Your liar of a client requested the case to be sealed for this very reason, yet somehow you cannot understand why Judge Mata told her father that the case had garnered publicity. Please tell us how you passed 2 bar exams. We really want to know. I do too.
Jesus Christ.
And then the Clayton's Justice Twitter has some postings here. And this comes from the Gingras Law Office blog. This stuff just amused me because we touched a little bit on this in the last live. And this David Douche Canoe posts. This is one of those situations where I'll just let each reader draw their own conclusions. But let me add a couple observations. Per Judge Mata's father, his daughter told him she had an interesting hearing approaching, and she said it had received a lot of publicity. End quote. My first question on cross-examination for Judge Mata. How did you know the case received a lot of publicity? Were you watching, following any of that? Her spontaneous statement about this kind of sort of feels like an admission, don't you think? No. What admission? And these were some of the questions, allegedly, but I find it odd because not all the questions have answers. So I don't know that if he edited this document before he posted this on the Gingras Law Office.
Oh, I'm sure he did to make it look better for him.
Because there's empty spots. Maybe we'll highlight those. And again, I'm sorry I can't make this bigger. It's Twitter. It's the way it is. Did you attend the hearing on June 10 in Owens v. Eckerd? He responds, yes. If so, did you attend hearing to support either Laura Owens or Eckerd? No. This is the response. I had no real understanding of who these people were. If so, who were you at the hearing to support? It's unanswered on this document.
Well, yeah, because it was like yes or no, and that's, if this, if not.
Did Judge Mata invite you to attend the June 10 hearing? No. The day prior to the hearing, she had told me that she had an interesting hearing approaching that was a paternity matter. She said it had received a lot of publicity, that they were having to engage additional security, and that if I wanted, I could watch it on a live stream or come to the court. In the past, so he thinks that's an admission that she invited him just for this case. Weird. In the past, if I was at the Northeast Judicial Courthouse, generally for filing documents, I would stick my head into her courtroom. She told me that if I came to the court, I may not get into the courtroom. See, if so, how and when did that invitation occur? At any time did you discuss the Owens v. Eckerd case with Judge Mata? I never discussed anything substantively or evidentiary about the case with Judge Mata. Immediately after the hearing, she texted me and asked if I was at the courthouse. I responded that I was, and she sent a staff member to get me. I went back to her offices, where she introduced me to 2 sheriff's deputies. Her court staff was also there. I told them that the overflow room had a certain party atmosphere, and that a woman whose name was Danny had insisted on giving me a copy of a pretrial statement. I don't know if it was a joint pretrial statement or a unilateral, but I looked at it briefly and later threw it away. If so, what did you discuss with Judge Mata? If you discussed Owens v. Eckerd, did any discussion with her occur prior to July 9? The discussion set forth above occurred immediately following the hearing in Judge Mata's outer office. Sometime later, no doubt prior to July 9, she told me that Mr. Gingras was making some allegations against me, but we never at any point discussed anything substantive or evidentiary about the case. See, if so, what did you discuss with Judge Mata prior to July? Okay. And then there's another page. Following the June 10/24 hearing, did you discuss with social media content creators in the parking lot Owens v. Eckerd or Laura Owens or Clayton's claims in this case?
Oh, the parking lot. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he has some footage of people talking about stuff, and Dave Neal's on video, and he says that's evidence of a conspiracy against him with Judge Mata's father and her, and blah, 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 blah. And his response, Harry Howe's response is, no, as I was leaving the courthouse, I observed that there was a canopy with quite a few people beneath and around it. There was also what appeared to be a catering truck. I wonder if that was the tech van. That was probably the tech van. Or maybe it was a catering truck. I don't know. They did have food there. They had scones and breadsticks and supposedly coffee. I walked a wide angle around the canopy, walking toward my truck. As I was approaching my vehicle, which was parked a good distance from the canopy, a lady with a hat on came up to me and called me by name. Really? I did not know her and never spoke to her. It was not the lady who had given me the pretrial statement. She asked me if I was going to come up to the canopy where a blogger was broadcasting. I told her that I was not and that I was heading for home. With that, I got into my truck and left. And that's essentially the end of the document. Interesting. I don't know if that was Megan Fox who saw him.
Huh.
I don't know. Fascinating stuff. Absolutely fascinating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, because someone's there, that's evidence of a conspiracy to him. It's just wild
Obviously.
nonsense. Wild nonsense. Now, for our next item up for bid, now we get to some video. Are you relieved?
Oh, well, your docile baritone tones are soothing to the ear,
voice.
but some video would be seems like it would be a nice interstish here.
Yes. And as Bruce the Moose says, his blog just proves he didn't pay any attention to the February status conference. Yeah, I'm not sure he paid much attention to anything. As we will remind ourselves in the next thing, which is this thing over here. This thing here.
Oh.
Bacon Bears has been covering all things Laura Owens. Bacon Bears on the, what's the name of her channel? Oh, crud. Now I've forgotten Bacon Bears channel. Oh, how dare I? I meant to highlight that. This is not from Bacon Bears. This is Reality Steve's. Let's see. I want to do Bacon Bears some justice so you can show her some love. She's hysterical. She's been going over just about everything. Sort of like how other people have more recently. That's my opinion. Thank you very much, Susan Dippity. Bacon Bear's channel is called That's My Opinion. Go visit Bacon Bear. She's hysterical. I just kind of laugh myself to death watching her. She just goes all crazy in response to all of this nonsense of Laura Owens. If I want to do, stream sniper with her reactions, it would be very entertaining. But we'll stick to the facts here. Because her rewatching of this and my listening to her channel, that being Bacon Bears, reminded me of some things that were said. Because she followed, at the recommendation of chat and some other things, that she listened to the David Gingras, Rachel Juarez debate on Reality Steve's show. And this is the same show and the same content in which I made the super clips of David Gingras just grabbing his forehead and sighing after Rachel smacked him. Metaphorically speaking. They're on video. There can't be any physical smacking, so there can be no accusations of assault or anything. But in all the conversations about bankruptcy, and right now there's not a whole lot happening in the foreground with the Laura Owens bankruptcy. Any day now, if it hasn't happened already, Queen Jennifer from the Department of Justice, the trustee side of the bankruptcy hearing for the DOJ, Queen Jennifer should be doing a deposition of one indicted felon on 14 counts. Well, I said that backwards. See, it's just in my head to call her an indicted felon. I think it's prophecy. I think it's prophetic. I'm calling her an indicted felon. But that's just my opinion. Felony indicted Laura Owens. I'll be fair. Because, she's presumed innocent until guilty by the system. I believe she's guilty as sin. I believe the evidence strongly supports her guilt. But I'm allowed to those opinions. That's the great thing about the First Amendment. That's one of the lovely things about this country. I won't get political, I promise.
While we still have it, we will enjoy the benefits of this of the First Amendment.
David Gingras wants the First Amendment to be weaponized so that only he can use it and only Laura Owens can use it and then hide behind it. But then try and prosecute people who try and use the same privileges that are constitutionally protected. Rob can't say that. Rob can't be mean and nasty. Hey, Rob can't be mean and nasty to Laura Owens, but we can to everybody else because that's our First Amendment. But he can't have the same First Amendment.
He can't. No, as long as it's to my advantage and not to theirs.
Rules for me, rules for thee, but not for me. That's their MO. That's both David and Laura Owens, in my opinion. That's how they function. That's what entitlement and, some weird herbs and spices and the functionality of the brain cells. That seems to be what they create.
Hey, I have some weird herbs and spices in my brain functionality, but maybe not to that degree.
No comment. Bruce the Moose says, we had more than scones. We had a whole bunch of food. Oh dear. Do tell. So, we have this thing. Where I was going with this is that I think I have irrefutable evidence that David Gingras suggested to Laura Owens and family, that being Jan Black, Elizabeth Ann Naylor Owens, a.k.a. Jan Black, and her husband Ron Owens, I think he suggested they file bankruptcy to make this all go away.
Yeah.
So let me remind everybody. Let me remind everybody what he said before they filed bankruptcy. Shall I divulge?
We're spilling all the tea. Go for it.
Yeah, and I need some crackers. My voice detects always changes it to bacon beer. Hey, that might be a thing, bacon beer.
It might. Bacon vodka is a thing.
So. It may be. It may be. Okay, so let's get to this. Because I think David leaked. He leaked some stuff. I think that's what Jack Fox would say. When you're trying to lie, sometimes leakage happens. Mm-hmm. And I would say if excessive leakage happens, go see a doctor.
I might want to bring a spare pair of shorts.
Yeah, leakage is not good, generally speaking. So we're not gonna do the whole thing because it's 2 hours and change. I don't want to do that much, but we'll take the juicy stuff because the first part of it's most of them going back and forth and David saying how wrong Rachel is and Rachel saying, but the law's on my side. All the judges are on my side. The case law's on my side. Your stuff says none of that. But Rachel, you're wrong. is how it goes for quite a while. That's, yeah. Yeah. And
This link is in the description, right? For those who don't have very good self-esteem, they can go and click on this and watch the entire 2-hour
yes,
nonsense.
I think I've got it in the stream. Pretty sure.
Hmm.
Pretty sure. If I don't, I can add it. I'll check that when we hop off.
Okay.
I mean, I've looked to it before. It's out. It's out there.
Yeah.
All you have to do is Google, put in the YouTube search tab, Rachel Juarez, David Gingras debate. It's right at the top. You can't miss it. And this is on Reality Steve's channel. So all due credit to Steve, who along with Dave Neal and of course Megan Fox and some others were at the forefront of bringing this story, because at the beginning it was a Bachelor Nation story. You know, people who follow the Bachelor show, I don't, but that's where this started. For those who've forgotten. Okay, here we go. Let's refresh our memories, because
do it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And like Henrietta says, he leaked about Rachel Mitchell's subpoenas. So this happened before the raid on the casita too. This back and forth. So just to set the stage.
Something that was brought up in the last video, the video you posted a couple of days ago with Laura, the very end. And I just, I presented every question to you, and then you talk, and then Rachel gets 5 to 10 seconds before you sigh. So I want to go to Rachel with this first, but it's because it's something that you said. This came out of your mouth. In the end of the video, you were talking about, Laura, I hope that you never pay Clayton. Then you brought up the Trump situation. He filed bankruptcy 6 times. He's famous for stiffing creditors. You could file a bankruptcy. Either way, there's no legal requirement for you to post bond if you don't have the money to be collected. And she said, I don't. I want to talk about this for a second, because in the trial, didn't Laura admit to having $200,000? Where did that money go? What do you mean she doesn't have any money? And this whole thing about, I'm just not going to pay? You don't want her to pay? You're telling your client, hey, ignore this payment of $150,000. I need a little more explanation on that. I think a lot of people do.
Is that going to Rachel or to me?
No,
Actually, we'll go to you on this. Explain that.
So I'm glad you asked about it, because I think people. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. And I tweeted to somebody, or I maybe responded on the YouTube comments to somebody that raised the exact same question. What I'm authorized to tell you is Laura does not have any money. Okay, she doesn't. Her income has basically been destroyed, and she blames JFC for this. She says that JFC has, harassed her podcast advertisers to the point that they won't work with her anymore, and her income is basically zero now. And she never said that she made $200,000. What she said was that was what the podcast made, and she split that with her mom. That's over now. Okay, that source of income is gone.
So the $200,000 that she said at the trial, she no longer has for whatever reason.
She was saying that was her income from the podcast that she was doing with her mom. The podcast is not podcasting anymore. That you can't. I mean, I suppose you could do a podcast with no advertisers. You're not going to make any money.
Okay, then just correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought the judge asked her, how much do you have in some sort of account at this moment? Didn't they ask her that? And she said 200,000.
No, they asked about income, and her income.
I remember.
Anyway, right. Steve, whatever the number was, whatever her income used to be,
she doesn't have it now. Okay,
her income is zero, basically zero. Her assets, they are what they are. Clayton is entitled to go and look for that. Dude, he can collect his judgment all he wants. That's what the bond that people think that Laura has to post. The posting of a bond is only if you want to stop the plaintiff from collecting. Laura hasn't posted that bond because Clayton, you can't get blood from a stone. You can't get money from people that don't have it. So Steve, look, this has been a friendly conversation, and I don't have any problem with really anything you said, but don't say that I'm encouraging her to ignore an order. That she's not sitting on 10 million in cash, and I'm just saying to her, go hide that.
But he kind of is, and he'll
sort
say
of
more.
Yeah, basically
He'll say more. Because of where we know we are now, he will say more.
She doesn't have the money. She sent me a screenshot of her bank account the other day. I almost cried
I almost cried.
Because you do your work, gonna get any money, any payment? What? Oh no. Okay.
Well, it's the best we know, mommy and daddy paid for him.
Mm.
And according to other information, they all went to dinner together. So he met mommy and daddy right at the beginning, along with her,
Jesus
according to
Christ.
some other stuff.
And I feel bad for her. And all I was saying is, if she wanted to, and actually Laura asked me to bring this up, because in her mind, it weighs in her favor. And you probably will see it exactly the opposite, because that seems to be the way we're going through this. I said to her a while ago, just if you file bankruptcy, you don't have to deal with this anymore.
If you file bankruptcy, you don't have to deal with this anymore.
You push that red button on your desk that says, boop, I'm done, bankruptcy.
Could this be why he wants in on the bankruptcy hearing? It's because he gave her legal advice to file bankruptcy. And ostensibly, it's my opinion, the allegation I will weigh is that he suggested to her they commit bankruptcy fraud in a sense. Because as Laura admitted in her testimony at the one of the debtor hearings, if I recall correctly, was that David helped her fill out the forms.
I seem to have a recollection of that too. Funny enough.
And here we are going back. Let me see. Let me get out of the full screen here. This goes back a year ago plus. I'm not sure. Let's see. It was premiered April 4th. So this is almost exactly a year ago. I told Laura, if you hit the bankruptcy button, it all goes away.
It all goes away. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what sort of attorney is this? I think it speaks for itself, quite frankly, what sort of attorney he is. That's my opinion. He goes further.
The entire case goes away. Clayton's ability to do anything to her in court anymore stops the minute she files bankruptcy. And she won't do it. And
Liar. Liar.
And she said, I'm not going to do that, as much as it would bring her relief and it would make my life easier, because I'm doing all this work for free, right? People.
So that's my question. Why?
Because I believe so strongly that she has been treated unfairly, and that what has happened here is wrong. I believe that in my.
If you're looking for somebody who's been treated unfairly, I mean, and that's one of the things I don't understand. Like, I mean, all you have to do is read a lot of these. You may say, I don't know if they're true. I don't know if they're accurate, but read what she has done to these men. Read the emails with Clayton, the emails with Greg, the text messages with Mike. You have
admitted you know nothing about the Maricini case. You've never spoken to Mike. You've never spoken to Greg.
They go on to other subjects. I mean, it's good reading. It's good watching just for that. I think that's enough on its own. I said to her, she could commit bankruptcy. She could file for bankruptcy. It all goes away. Oh, I'm not going to do that. And what happens?
Clayton can't do anything more to you at that point.
Clayton can't do anything about it. What happens? Mommy and daddy file bankruptcy. She files for bankruptcy. They both file for Chapter 13 and 7, respectively. Mommy and daddy lose theirs. And I have a feeling that once the deposition is concluded, a lot more bad things will be happening in her bankruptcy. What the F is going on here? He's complicit. In my opinion, he is complicit in helping her commit fraud.
Well, what other explanation is there? Because he's doing all the shit. He said right there in plain English, he's doing all this for free. Why? Allegedly, obviously. But he said it.
Free.
There's no allegedly. He says he's doing it for free. So why, what's his motivation? Why would he do that? What's the deal? Oh, it's a bleeding heart, sort of I just care so much about this case and so much about this person. Right. Yeah. Okay. Really?
Bruce makes an interesting point. Bruce says, this is the one question of Rachel's that I didn't like. The follow-up question should be what? Follow-up question should be why. Why do you believe Laura's story when no one else does? Oh, that's a fair point. I think Rachel's kind of done at this point.
No, she kind of did. She sort of followed up a little bit with that. Well, reading, have you seen the text messages? Have you seen the conversations? Blah, blah, blah. Like, she did actually push into that just a little bit. Now, I have not watched the entirety of this video. We're
Would you
just
like to
talking
watch
about
some
the, like,
more? We could keep
that is,
going. I mean, there's a little bit left.
this is your show, so you do you. But that Rachel did sort of drill into that just a little bit, though, of like, you've seen the things you've seen, like asking dipshit here about, you've seen this stuff, like, so why do you feel like that's a injustice to somebody? And I think I don't know, Rachel, I'm going to prognosticate a little bit, but I think like where I would have gone with this is, if you're so interested in social justice and social and the downtrodden and who's so like repressed or whatever, like there's like 6,542 different cases out there or causes out there that are not this one person who seems to continually try and manipulate the system to get away with this. And yet this is the one you choose? Dude, go do some social justice for animals, you ass.
Sure.
Like, if that's what you're actually interested in, fuck you. This is not it.
Turdatter Krishani, 1940, says he said explicitly that she should ignore the judgment and never pay him. He said if you have the money, you should hide it, and then he said you could file bankruptcy. Yeah, that's about my summation is. And where I'm going with this is, since this, and this is why I believe he wants in on the bankruptcy for a limited capacity. He filed for a 60-day thing. I don't think it's been decided as far as I know yet. I can't imagine it will be accepted. I think it's so he can save his ass from helping her, in my opinion, to commit fraud still.
So it would
And
seem.
it leads me to the question. Yeah, well, I mean, these are my opinions, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how else you could read what's going on here. What other explanation is there? He's
I don't
saying
have
all
any
these
salient
things.
one.
He's confessing. He's telling on himself on video, for Christ's sake. He is confessing on video, and of course, he later goes in to drop the bombs. There's a truth bomb that Rachel Mitchell is subpoenaing things, suggesting there is a criminal thing happening. This was before we get all that information that there are charges being filed. So he's leaking all of this out because, lying is hard, as Jack Fox says. It's difficult to lie and keep your story straight and not have things leak out.
Yeah, you got to remember the lies you told. So it's just, better to not fucking do that in the beginning, but whatever.
Aside from his DUI charges and the bar disciplinary case, why is he not being criminally charged for other things, helping Laura to commit fraud? That's my question.
Yeah. I really
question.
would love to know the honest answer to, like, what is his motivation for being this involved?
My point is, it seems like there is an avenue for him to be criminally investigated in helping her commit these schemes.
Yes. Yeah.
Because why else would she have filed for bankruptcy? Even though he says, he admits, he told her, she was asked. He asked her. No, she asked him. Oh, you could file for bankruptcy. It all goes away. You shouldn't pay Clayton at all. What is she going to do? She does it. I can't imagine it would be at anybody's suggestion other than his. And not only does she do it, but her parents do it too, seemingly to avoid judgment. Mm-hmm. How is he not being investigated for being an accomplice himself?
Well, maybe that's coming. Maybe that's coming.
I have questions. Maybe it is coming. Maybe they're going to disbar him first, and then he's going to be rung up on other charges.
That would be delicious, wouldn't it?
But it could be, and I've said this before. We know that the Arizona Maricopa County Attorney's Office did say in one of their filings that they had an accomplice, and they were filing for aggravating circumstances because of said accomplice. I've always theorized that, at least for the earlier times, that mom was the accomplice because she was heavily involved in helping Laura with her schemes. I also wonder if he could. I've said it. I think there's a possibility he could be named as an accomplice. They have not factually named said accomplice according to their findings, but I think we're going to have to start taking wagers over who the accomplice is.
I'll
Is it
start a
him?
betting
Is it
board. How
mom?
about
Is it
that?
dad? Is it the sister?
Maybe it's all of the above.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's accomplices. Maybe it's plural in the end.
Have they always just talked about it in the singular, or like if they say accomplice, does that sometimes mean multiple?
I'm not sure.
This can't, like, because Elo's mom is not that smart, and she's also a fraudster in my opinion, and it seems like sister is as well, so they're not of legal mind to go through all this. So surely they have to be working as a unit together. I don't know. I don't know how else to, because unless they think that like legal GPT is a thing and it's not, but like I really, really, really would love to hear from his own face. What's in it for him? What is it? Why? It's not the social justice angle. It's just not.
No.
So
No.
stop with that. What's the fucking deal?
That's the bullshit answer.
Yeah.
Right. As I've said before, and I'm kind of repeating myself now at this point. Ian Runkle and Rob on Law and Lumber said, well, it was more Runkle than Rob, made the comment in one of their last discussions of this case of, I can't make it work why he's doing this without there being some kind of romance involved. Ian Runkle said that specifically.
It's hard to.
It's a point of view that I think is valid. We don't know factually for sure because, of course, he's not going to tell. But there are rumors that his wife is not coming back and that she's somewhere in the UK with her mother or something to that effect. We don't know for sure.
I mean,
So
I'd run really far the
factually.
fuck away from him if I were involved with him and all this shit was coming to light. Like, fuck that.
But I think what we're trying to do is save face publicly while everything is literally burning to the ground in the background.
Right.
Oh, nothing's going on here. Laura's doing great, and Aurora, the cat's doing fine, and she's fat and being fed, and things are just great. I'm going to win the bar arguments, and I'm going to depose Mata and show what sort of a horrible judge she is, and get rid of her, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
While
I
all
think,
we see behind him is just things nuclearly erupting in flames.
And I think that this goes to like Ronnie's point, and yes, that is it's clout, and that's part, like, even in my industry, in like when dealing with finders and hackers and people who are out to do nefarious things in the infosec world, it's not always money. Like like you hear about ransomware and you hear about these extortion and scams and like, click this because your Norton antivirus has expired and blah, 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 or whatever it is. There are people out there who only want the reputation and they just want to be like, I'm the guy who did X to fucking Meta, or I stole all of Anthropic's models or whatever. Like then it's just pride. And I get that. I don't know if this is strictly this. I don't know. I remain very suspicious of dipshits' motivation here.
It's questionable at best.
Looking at it from that lens of like why people do dumb shit like this, and it's questionable. I want to understand that, and that's just part of that investigative sort of brain that I have, and why I do information security and incident response is like, why? What's going on here? Like, tell me the story. What's going on?
Yeah. But I think there's a lot going on here. And I think someone's trying to tap dance. And I think he's trying to insert himself to cover his ass before... these are my opinions. I'm speculating. This is why he wants in on Laura's bankruptcy thing. This is why he wants involved in everything Laura's doing.
Yes.
To cover his own ass, as well as, maybe try and cover hers secondarily.
Yes, and because that's part of the game. That's part of the deal. And they're trying to tap dance their way out of, like, they're always going to make mistakes. That's the thing. Is like if you do these grifts and these frauds and these things, just like in the InfoSec world, you will eventually make a mistake. It might be years down the road. It might be hours down the road. If you're arrogant about it, you are going to fuck up. And the people who are there to defend and to try and figure out what's going on, they're going to sit there and go, wait, this doesn't add up. And then you're done. You're fucking done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's Queen Jennifer with the DOJ. I don't know. I hope, because that was delicious. But he is going to fuck up. Laura's going to fuck up. Mommy is going to fuck up. It's just a matter of time. And
Laura
I think they've
threw him
already,
under the bus already.
it seems like that's already like, everything that you have shown me since you drugged me into this bullshit, however many months ago it was.
Dump.
There's plenty, in my opinion, actually kind of sort of professional opinion, there's plenty where this is all sorts of like errors, and I just all over the place. If I was the investigator in this, I'd just be like, okay, I'm going to look at my spreadsheet of doom and I'm going to be like, well, that's not consistent with that. And like, that's okay. Let's look at that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Susan Dippity says, I agree DG craves clout. He's admitted he wants to get in front of SCOTUS. He has been using LO's cases to get there, even if it's via bar charges. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
He did say that in reference to his bar stuff, that he's going to appeal everything all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Well,
Which is, I mean, that's quite a big boner for a bar.
Yeah. It's just wank,
case.
just wank fest bullshit.
There's not going to be a David Gingras law. He's not good enough, in my opinion. Oh my God.
And Jen, yes, I just wanted to go do off-roading shit. Okay. That was my life. That was my life. And Echo's fucking ruined it. But it just, yeah, we're all in this. And like, I'm just, here we are in the cesspool of the bullshit.
I suppose in the end, I hope that it will be more than just, okay, well, he screwed up, the bar kicks him out. If there is a nexus that he is involved in criminal activity to defend her for God knows whatever reason or motivation it was, I hope he gets brought up on I hope there's justice headed his way too.
I hope so too.
Sounds like there could be. I mean, based upon what we see here in this video, what has actually happened?
But he's about as arrogant. He's arrogant like some of the people I'm dealing with my employment shit is like, they're arrogant to a point that they're making all sorts of errors. And it's like, he's sort of kind of doing like whole different situation, obviously, but he's doing, he is going down this path of just like mistake after mistake after mistake. And then the rest of us that are sitting here observing, and particularly the legal minds, they're just sitting there going like, oh, that's one more receipt. Oh, one more receipt. Let's put that into the spreadsheet. Let's go.
But I don't think a good lawyer would be doing that. So
he's not. He's not a good lawyer. Like, I mean, let's be real. He's not.
He's not, in my opinion, and I would dare say in the opinion of a number of other people. Who knows? Maybe he was okay when he started and fell off the horse. I don't know.
If something obviously happened, I don't know.
Because how do you pass 2 bar exams? I mean, there's a lot of.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You can pass bar. I mean, you can score high on the LSATs and you could pass bar exams and get your thing and blah, blah, blah. But like the same thing with all of the other sort of accredited type of careers that are out there. You can go and get your insurance license and become auto, home, and life, insurance agent. Doesn't mean you're a good agent. You can be a complete piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
But you're not yes, or can you write a policy or work with a company to go do a policy? Absolutely. Doesn't mean you're good at it. Same thing with doctor, or like a lawyer, like in this case, or any of a financial advisor. You could, it just, that doesn't equate. Like passing and getting a certification doesn't mean you're actually good at your craft.
Right. Right. Well, I just hope that all the gooses get sauced. What's good for the gooses? What's good for Laura Owens is good for David Gingras. And if there's an avenue for more charges to come, that seems to be
great.
fair,
Do it.
based on what
let's
I've
do
observed.
And in the meantime, I'm going to take Echoes out and torture him on the trails more, and he's not going to have a choice. And
As
I'm
long
going
as
to post
there's
that up on
Indian
my
chicken nuggets involved,
at the end of it.
yeah, that's fine.
So
I'm busy tomorrow though, so it can't be tomorrow.
Why?
Hey, you had your hair appointment canceled. Mine is not.
Oh, well, mine's on Sunday now.
Well, at least you got to reschedule. That's good enough.
I
don't know if we want to hear the rest of it. I mean, all of this is good. The whole thing with Rachel and Dingus, it's very entertaining. And for as much talking as he does, she still smacks his pee-pee.
I mean, I don't doubt it. We are over the 2-hour mark.
It's true.
And for the record, I love mango custard. That is always my dessert. I will get them to go, and I will enjoy them just like I did the other night. That is one of the perks of going and getting Indian chicken nuggets, is enjoying a mango lassi and mango custard at the end of the event. It's fine. Ice cream, custard, whatever. It's good. It's all homemade at this particular location, and I dare anybody to give me a better Indian restaurant than that one that I have.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of one, but that doesn't matter. I don't get around that much.
I've eaten Indian food in India, and this is fucking good, so that's fine.
Then it's even better. No, my only point was like, you know what? Sometimes the past reminds us of where things are in the future, and someone let it slip. And they were telling tales out of school, which I think could get them all in trouble, and I hope it does.
Yes.
Because
I want comeuppance. I want some sort of consequence.
Manager, I want you fired. I want to go full Karen on this.
Kinda, yeah. I want something finally to happen to the bad guys, right? Because like it's so frustrating to watch all of these assholes and these just absolutely horrid humans rise to the top and get all this power and get all this money and get all this influence and all that stuff. And like, that is, I really, at some point, I so want there to be some kind of, I don't want to think justice. Like, I want that word, but like, I don't want to conflate it with like justice for Clayton, blah, 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 but like overuse a term. But like, at some point, I just would, I want some consequence for this fucked up behavior. I just wasn't raised like this. I don't know. And Echoes, you weren't either, right? Like,
society does not approve, generally speaking, of people being conniving criminals that, just because they didn't, it's not like I've gone and killed somebody.
Right.
It does not mean they shouldn't be facing criminal charges and reap the consequences of what they have sown.
They should be held accountable to the bullshit that they put up. And it's not just people like LO, it's also people like Dipshit who are clearly manipulating, doing horrid things. And like, no, I don't know. This just does not vibe with my values, and that I can't.
Well, this is why crimes do not begin and end with murder.
No, it's not the extent of it.
We've got the category of criminal activity goes far beyond just taking lives. It goes beyond homicide. Mm-hmm. It goes beyond robbing a bank. It includes things like fraud. It includes things like bankruptcy fraud. It includes things like suborning perjury. I would like to see where's my punishment button, damn it. I have not used my punishment button in ages. I want to see some punishment.
I think they should be punished. Punish! 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 Punish!
I'll drink to
Yes.
that.
Oh, yes, I do. I need
Yeah.
the Mr. Filch, though. I want to see some punishment. I need Mr. Filch.
Yeah.
I'll add that to the punishment collection.
It gets exhausting after a while of seeing all of this shit happen and no consequences to those people. And it's like, I don't know. I look at myself and I'm like, why do these people succeed? And those who actually have ethics and values and are empathetic towards others, why are we the ones that are just like constantly shit out and tossed to the side when all of these purely evil shit weasels are out there doing all that stuff, right?
Birds of a feather have flocked together in this instance, is my not so humble opinion.
So it would seem.
I'm not sure if Laura can claim this one, though, but maybe she can.
David's brain is smoother than a porn star's butthole.
I'll never get over that one. That one's great.
That's a pretty good one.
Courtesy of Lauren Knighty's mother.
I don't really want to think about
Isn't that
the
a great
correlation
image?
between David and his butthole and smooth. I don't.
I'm just impressed she got her mother to say that on a stream, and it's crystal clear.
That's right up there with like thinking about Margaret Thatcher naked.
Okay,
it's just okay. No. I'm in my 40s. I don't need help with like that. Okay, I don't need help with that.
Bruce says justice for Lauren's mom. I think Lauren's mom is doing just fine. She seems like a nice lady.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fun lady. Which sort of explains why Lauren's both of those things. Oh, let's see what else is going on in chat. I'm just going to check up on chat here. Let's see. I think they both might slither away into the dark without many consequences. I hope that's not true, Toadette. Well, one of them is facing 14 felonies. That's not escapable. There are only 2 avenues. Well, 3.
Yeah, there's a few, but yeah.
Number 1, she takes a plea deal. She would have to admit guilt, and whatever the terms of the plea agreement are there. Number 2, which has some branches, is a trial. And within that trial, there is only 2 outcomes. She will be found guilty or she will be found innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what they find her guilty for, will be a whole range of things, including, I would assume, time behind the bars.
One would hope.
I would have, I can't see. Well, I mean, and of course, I sit here with all this multiple years of knowledge with this case. I can't see how any jury would find her innocent. I really can't. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. And you know, Bruce, yes, he's not. But you know, anybody can sign up for an OnlyFans account.
Oh, do we have to go there?
Bruce went there. Don't blame me. That's Bruce.
Bruce might be blowing a .13 like Omar does when he's on the computer.
This is me taking it easy tonight. Notice that I have not had my bourbon. It's because last night I did what I needed to do.
I find it funny that Omar would admit to what he thinks he would blow if he were to blow.
I'll gladly admit to what. Look, I'll gladly admit to what
right now.
It's fine. I'll admit to what I would blow or not in the presence of certain people.
Yeah, that. Well, that could happen in the privacy of strangers and friends.
Maybe.
Oh, let's see. She'll never get a date again, says Jen the Couch Fairy. If anyone is smart enough to Google her. Well, you know, yeah.
They're not.
Root tree stuff. I haven't got caught up on all Bruce's latest gaming stuff. Actually, I might find a game I might have to stream now. I had something go for sale in my stream thing. Steam. God, getting all the words mixed up. Robin. Oh my gosh. Robin says she will never admit to anything ever. That seems to be true, and I think
I
David
don't think
Hunt's behind.
she won't, but I think she will if that is the, and I've said this before, I'm sticking to my prediction here. She will if that is literally the only last recourse to minimize the damage. She's going to do everything she possibly can to not have that, like the full on treatment. And so the moment that she thinks that she has no more options, that's when she's going to try and cop a plea deal. Those are where my chips are. And Echoes will probably cash in on my bet severely.
She
But
can't cop a plea deal mid-trial.
no. Maybe.
I still think it's going to trial, but again, stranger things have happened. And I think that's why her current attorney is vying for more time, because he's looking for whatever else that hasn't been thrown at the wall to see if there's something that could stick there.
Oh yeah.
So, and if he hasn't got through all the discovery, which would be shocking,
just toss it all. Like, why aren't you just tossing it all into ChatGPT or Claude and have it fucking
because
figured
that's
out?
irresponsible lawyering. Yes, it is. People are getting prosecuted for using GPTs for their lawyer work.
Well, that's why I'm not a lawyer. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not perfect, and it's not. The day will come. I'm sure of it. The day will come.
It's getting much closer.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
There are some. Like, I can tell you that there are some models that exist out there that are not widely available that are able to find, analyze, and execute vulnerabilities in computer systems and software very, very efficiently.
Yeah.
And you and I and the common man do not have access to these yet.
No, the government does, but that's never mind.
There's certain companies that do.
Yeah, well, probably because of government contracts, right? Never mind. TMI.
I think it's just more about. I just think more it's about VC type money.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway.
Oh dear. Oh no. Why? Oh, see, now we're all talking about OnlyFans. Did we have to go there, chat? Did we really? Bruce
started it.
Yeah, I know. Bruce says I'll be okay as long as nobody related to the case starts an OnlyFans. Oh, that's a pleasant thought, isn't it?
This will get awkward.
Yeah, it'll get awkward. Not a Jan OnlyFans. Oh golly. Okay, let's not go there.
Ew.
Either. Oh, let's see. Elo somehow admitted her pregnancies with MM were fake back in 2016. This is Susan Dippity saying, she must have felt it was her only option at the time. I'm trying to remember some of that. All the Mike stuff is really hazy in my head now because we've moved on since that, and we're still waiting for someone to file an appeal to their failing to show up to their own DVRO case, but we'll see.
I mean,
this whole case is awkward. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's actually accurate, and maybe somebody will start an OnlyFans with the black chair, and that'll be a thing.
Oh my God! There's already people fighting over the black chair. If should this auction include furniture? I don't know how that works, but.
I might make a bet on it. Just why not?
I think they bought essentially the staged house as is. I think is what happened.
Oh, probably.
So I don't know. I don't know if the house includes the furniture or if it's separate or how that works. I don't know.
Abandoned property. Who knows? In a normal house sale, if you fail to move all of your stuff out the day that it closes, whatever your belongings were that are left in the house now belongs to the new owner. So maybe that's part of the deal. I have no idea.
Ronnie G asked the questions. Speaking of Mike Maricini, has Laura missed her deadline for the appeal? Well, the notice of appeal was filed. I saw something about that the other day. I think Omar said something. She has not, as far as I'm aware, filed her What's the word? I forgot the word. Is it the brief? Is it the appellate brief? The thing she's
I
supposed
have
to
no
write
idea
up.
what you're talking about.
She filed a notice.
I'm
passed
interacting with
the-
IB on chat. That's fine.
Go ahead. She has, as far as I'm aware, she has not yet sent in the paperwork for her argument of why she should get an appeal. So I don't know what the date was. I thought it was the end of April because some things happened in the interim. Omar talked about it somewhere a little bit. It's been a while, so I forget the details. So I don't have a clear answer on that, but I don't think the deadline has happened yet. Between someone's probably helping her between DUI and bar charge things would be my hunch on that. But if it's been completed, I'm not aware of it. And if she's missed a deadline, I'm also not aware of that too. So I just don't remember all the dates. I can't keep the dates in my head. They're moving all the time, and it's just pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I have no doubt, and I've said this for quite a while. I have no doubt that the criminal case will get bumped, and I hope it's bumped to the fall.
Well, yeah, because you just don't want to sweat your balls off in that courtroom.
Who wants to be in Arizona in the middle of the ball dripping sweat? Nobody. Nobody. The June 10th.
Why they built a fucking city in the middle of the desert to begin with is beyond me, but here we are.
Because they're stupid.
Well, yes.
Oh, my sciatica feels better in the desert heat. That's how it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the damn snowbirds. The ones that don't want to go to Florida, they go to Arizona.
Well, I'd rather go to Arizona than Florida, but they're both basically like cesspools, but whatever.
Susan Dippity responds, I vaguely recall the deadline for the appeal was late April. That sounds correct to my recollection as well, Susan Dippity. It was noted on Reddit or JFCX. Yes, that sounds right to me as well. So I think it's floating out there somewhere. It's just not hot news right now because nothing's happened. And until, if or when, probably more if than when, until there's a filing there, there's really no reason to think of it. So if nothing goes in, bye-bye, no appeal. And if she does file something, then we'll have it, and then we'll have something to talk about. So there's that. But there's nothing there. There's no there in that instance yet.
Yes.
There may be, there may not be. Someone's got, they're juggling lots of balls. They've got lots of spinning plates on the sticks. They have to keep going between bankruptcies and criminal hearings and taking off the state? No. Getting a motion so they can leave the state and go hang out and be Auntie Laura to some babies of the sister.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you reading that one?
I am. So yes, Wallace, like the general term of snowbirds is the whole like idea that cold months, like so up in the northern parts, up in the Pacific Northwest, the winters are not exactly warm. In comparison, going to the South, whether that be Arizona, Florida, Southern California, Mexico, etc.
Even Texas.
A little warmer than it is here in our fair geography zone. So yes, that's the tip. That the term is like the North migrates south for the winter.
It happens on all coasts and in the middle.
And then they move back up when it's less unpleasant, according to some. I don't really mind. I'm a native of the Pacific Northwest, so it doesn't bother me as much. So, yeah.
Some people like seasons, other people do not. They want it to be eternal summer.
Yes.
Or spring.
Correct.
I remember a movie where the joke was when it turned fall in Southern California, little leaf blows by. Oh, we pull our shorts up and it's still 82 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than, bearskin or something like that. Yeah. Anyhow.
Yep. It's a really common thing.
Yeah.
I know somebody who actually does it in reverse. So like they're actually here in the winter and then they go to New Mexico when it's in the summer, like they're taking off in May and they'll be there. And it's very odd to me because why? But they're like, oh, I have a pool at my New Mexico house. I'm like, you can have a pool here, but whatever.
That's true. You can have a pool anywhere if you want to pay for it. Oops, I don't want to add that. I want to get rid of it. Oh, have we done enough damage for today?
I'll keep ranting, but
Well,
It's up
if
to
you want to
you.
do a Jeep or bourbon rant, I won't stop you as we close it out.
Yeah, there's no bourbon for me right now, so I don't know. When do you want to play us out?
Oh, what should I do? Should I hit a? Let me see if I can find something. Well, I started a song, but I don't want that song anymore. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, that can go away.
I think we need. Yeah, I think we need to play something out with a song. Let's see. I could do the Justice song that goes on for minutes on end. That may be appropriate.
Sure.
Who doesn't like good AI music? Because it tells the story of this whole. Well, mostly the story. All right. Well, we'll close it.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Another reminder at the end here: do the like, subscribe, mash all the buttons.
Mash
if you
the
want to
buttons,
see
hit
me,
the hikes if I have it. I may not.
if you want to see me torture echoes in my Jeep, follow along, because there will be some videos of that and some of my other adventures too. And my ride with me, but yeah. Echoes is not exempt from. I will get him out there and get him at a 20-degree pitch on an angle that he might crap himself, and that will all be on audio because that's how friends do.
Will it be bleeped or will it be? Oh my god! Now I know what's in for me. Okay, if you don't see me ever again, people,
scrape them off a mountain. No, it won't be alive because there's no cell service up in these parts. So
I'll be
sadly
sure to have
not.
something. If I ever disappear, I'll be sure to have something that will dox Jeep Daddy at a predetermined time, unless I turn it off. Should I ever disappear? So then the investigators can go with him.
I will. Nope. I'll delete it.
Oh, all right. Let's end this thing. Let's end this thing before we go for another hour, which nobody needs.
Well, nobody needs that. So
nobody needs. We've raked everybody over enough coals, including David Gingras a few times and Laura Owens.
Yeah, well, fuck that guy anyway. Fuck them all.
May they get what they deserve, and what they really deserve is not pleasant.
Nope,
it is
not.
Jen the Couch Face says, "Hold on. What am I holding on to? I don't know. Why am I holding on? Are we holding on to the Jeep? Probably.
I've got plenty of oh shit handles in the Jeep. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I may have to bring myself a padded something, so I'm not rattling around.
Yeah, bring a shovel and some.
Maybe a parachute.
Bring a shovel and some TP, and you'll be fine.
Bring a parachute. Bring some water wings in the event of a water landing.
I've gone through some water. It's fine.
I know. You don't have a snorkel though. That makes me nervous.
I don't, but my air intake is far enough up that I can actually.
You just don't go through the river. It's like other.
I'm not dumb. I mean,
that's good.
I'm at least like cautiously reckless.
Extra pair of pants. Yeah.
Yes.
Laura Owens needs more oh shit hands. I don't think it's in her consciousness.
Probably not.
We just add more lies on top.
Yeah. I never had that. Oh, I never had it.
We cannot have enough frosting on our lying cake. We just keep adding more.
God.
It may drip off eventually, but we just add more.
Oh God, ew.
Cake.
Wow. That's how you're going to end this? God, you're disgusting.
What? Well, I'm not talking about. Well, see, IB's talking about diapers in case you wet yourself. Astronaut diapers should work, says Jen. Those have to be expensive. Probably. I mean, they've got the hoses and all that stuff. Sounds wild. I couldn't have been an astronaut.
See, this is why y'all need to stay. This is why you stay to the end of the stream, folks.
This is why this bitter end.
This is why you have to stay all the way to the end.
The bitter and cruel. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You just never know. You just never know.
On that note, I'm going to kick him off, and then we'll get this out of here.
We gather in the spotlight from shadows near and far. A a chorus born of truth beneath the guiding star. From one man's fight to many, our voices now align. For justice burns eternal, where lies can't hide the shine. Clayton stood against the storm, a lie that broke the dawn. A claim of twins, a twisted tale, but truth came marching on. We saw the web she wove, the story spun to bind. Laura schemes, her shadow's dreams unravel in our mind. Raise the cry for justice, let the truth ignite the flame. From Clayton to the others, we'll call her lies by name. No more will shadow silence, no more will falsehoods reign. Together we stand stronger in the justice cries refrain. In the city by the bay, a restraining order fell. Mike faced her accusations, but truth began to tell. Greg fought her claims of malice, her tales of twisted pain, while a stage mom hands out candy, masking truth in vain.
But sweet she greets the law, a smile to dodge the blame. But we see through the curtain, and we'll end her shadowed game.
Raise the cry for justice, let the truth ignite the flame. From Clayton to the others, we'll call her lies by name. No more will shadow silence, no more will falsehoods reign. Together we stand stronger in the justice cries refrain. From Reddit threads to YouTube streams, we share the facts, the proof, the court's own words, the evidence lay bare her twisted truth. Maricopa's gavel falls, 7 felonies unfold. Her forged ultrasound, her perjured tales, a story now retold.
A mother's shadow lingers with whispers soft and sly, but we'll keep pushing forward till justice lights the sky.
From years long past, a pattern grows. Her lies from 14 sting. Matt faced her false paternity, her chaos took to wing.
No more will victims falter, no more will fear abide. The justice crew is rising with truth our only guide.
For every heart she's broken,
for every life she's torn,
we'll sing for all her victims till justice is reborn. Raise the cry for justice, let the truth ignite the flame. From Clayton to the others, we'll call her lies by name. No more will shadow silence, no more will falsehoods reign. Together afraid. The stage is set, the curtain lifts, our voices won't be stilled. With every step we'll break her grip till justice is fulfilled.